Chapter 695. Brother Lang, I'm afraid I would have died a long time ago if I didn't have some life-saving secrets. Bao Tianxia sneered. Do you really think that a piece of trash like me can control so many super experts under me? Is there no one who wants to rebel against me? Want to kill me? Why is it that I've been living well until now? Bao Tianxia paused for a moment, then continued. Because those who tried to kill me and usurp my power have all been taken care of by me. That's why I've been able to survive until now. I'm not like you, who want the whole world to know about every little breakthrough. I just need to let the whole world know the moment I break through to the sky profound realm. Lang Chen narrowed his eyes, and his killing intent became even colder. You want to break through to the sky profound realm? You need to have the life and opportunity to get what you want. You always think that you can get what you want, but you forget that I am the same kind of person. Since none of us want to sacrifice our own interests and want to fight for that position, Brother Bao, don't blame me for being black-hearted. This is my only chance to truly surpass the ancient magpie realm. If I don't seize it, the successor of the three kings won't be me, but the Power King. Compared to the ancient magpie realm, you're so weak, Bao Tianxia said. You and I can't estimate how many experts there are in his Hunter Academy, but I'm different from you. If I have the power, I can use money to quickly gather my troops. When that time comes, no matter how many experts there are in the ancient Magpie Realm's Hunter Academy, I'm afraid I won't be afraid. You're thinking too much, Brother Bao. If you don't want this day next year to be the anniversary of your death, you can use your wealth to redeem your life. I believe that you can give me an amount that I can't refuse. Lang Chen was ready to attack at any moment. Bao Tianxia snorted. Sorry, Brother Lang, but this day next year is my birthday. I'm afraid I can't spend so many important days on one day. Before you attack, think about how confident you are. Li Chun suddenly clapped his hands, and the 20 people around him quickly gathered under Xiang Dong's lead. Bao Tianxia was already prepared. He had booked the entire restaurant. Now, everyone in the restaurant was his people. Lang Chen was alone. Those who are able to gain my trust are not ordinary people. Bao Tianxia smiled in a relaxed manner. If Brother Lang wants to play hard with me, then let's give it a try. Lang Chen's killing intent soared. Since you're already prepared to kill me, then I won't hold back. Bao Tianxia, today I'll let you know the difference between us. Everyone that you can bribe with money, I can use my strength to prove that I can control them. At the very least, we can kill them. As soon as he finished speaking, Lang Chen suddenly burst out like a cheetah. His first target was Bao Tianxia's right-hand man, thousand-faced Guanyin Li Chun. Li Chun's strength was not low, but facing Lang Chen's all-out attack, he was still powerless. She tried to use her arms to block Lang Chen's tyrannical fist, but the moment his fist came into contact with her arms, she heard the sound of bones breaking. Under the full power attack of an Earth-profound realm expert, Li Chun didn't even have the strength to fight back. With just one move, she had completely lost the ability to fight. Lang Chen didn't give her any chance to gasp for breath. His claw pierced through Li Chun's chest like a bolt of lightning. Lang Chen raised his bloody palm and sneered. This is the result of going against me, no matter who it is. Think carefully before you fight with me. The scene was quite shocking. The difference between an Earth-profound realm expert and a super expert was so great that it was enough to make Xiang Dong and the other super experts present tremble in fear. Pa Lang Chen took out his car keys and turned around to place them on the table. It's not that I don't want to give you a chance. Whoever gets this car key will have the qualifications to be my driver, and I'll spare his life. As for the others, I'm not a bodhisattva. The car key was quietly placed on the table. The group of super experts who originally wanted to deal with Lang Chen suddenly realized that there was no way they could resist Lang Chen. If they wanted to live, perhaps getting that key was the only way out. As expected of Lang Chen. Such beautiful psychological warfare. But I can also tell you that these people will not betray me. Bao Tianxia sneered. Because I gave them a special poison in their bodies. If they don't get my antidote, they'll suffer a fate worse than death. Everyone, listen up. Whoever kills him will be able to obtain the antidote forever. Lang Chen was full of admiration. So the famous big boss doesn't just rely on money to buy people's hearts. He also uses such despicable methods to get things done. Ha ha ha, you're even more despicable and sinister than I imagined. So that means the people here don't have a chance to live? We can live if we take your life. Xiong Dong suddenly made his move. At the same time he shouted, he was already behind Lang Chen. If he had half a second, he would have been able to break Lang Chen's neck. Unfortunately, Lang Chen didn't give him half a second. He turned around and kicked Xiong Dong in the chest. Flying Skywolf Xiong Dong experienced what it felt like to fly for the first time. His body was completely out of his control and he fell heavily. When he tried to get up again, he felt like his heart was about to explode. The immense pain was indescribable. Lang Chen's kick was filled with qi. It was definitely enough to cause a super expert's internal organs to explode. It was obvious that Lang Chen's eyes were becoming more and more vicious. He didn't have the patience to continue wasting time. Lang Chen's figure flashed through Bao Tianxia's elite team like a ghost. Although he didn't dare to be careless when surrounded by super experts, he didn't have any intention of holding back as long as he took advantage of the opportunity to kill. Those who showed an opening either had their throats ripped open or had their necks broken. There were even some who had their hearts pierced by Lang Chen. In a short period of time, the entire fish restaurant was filled with screams and cries. Facing the crazy Lang Chen, Bao Tianxia suddenly realized that he had made a huge mistake. He really shouldn't have taken the risk. He knew that Su Yun was using him to deal with Lang Chen. He wanted to see a dog eat dog, but he still did it. Perhaps he was really wrong. He should not have continued to pin his hopes on Su Yun, a person who would never help him sincerely, in order to obtain the Paibo jade under the Xing and mountain. Just as Lang Chen broke the neck of Bao Tianxia's last subordinate, Bao Tianxia grabbed the car key on the table. "Brother Lang, I'll be your driver." Bao Tianxia's change was too great. Just a moment ago, he wanted to break off his relationship with Lang Chen and fight to the death. But now, he was suddenly willing to submit and even lowered his head to pick up Lang Chen's car key. Lang Chen threw the last person's body on the ground with an incredulous expression. "Bao Tianxia, has anyone ever told you that you're really shameless? You took my car keys when all of my men were sacrificed? Ha 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 ha. This is the biggest joke I've ever seen in my life. Brother Lang, listen to me. I've thought it through. I've been used by someone." Bao Tianxia said, "Since our goal is the same, why don't we work together? We'll become profound sky realm experts together. With my money, we'll become people with a higher status than the three kings." "Why should I work with you?" Lang Chen said. "To work with someone who was just thinking about how to get rid of me a few minutes ago. TSK TSK TSK. Bao Tianxia, your wishful thinking is too good, right? Do you think I'm as stupid as those puppets of yours? I know very well what kind of people I can work with and what kind of people will only do despicable things their entire lives." Bao Tianxia waved the car key in his hand. "But you said that whoever has this key can live." "I've got the key. The great king of hell wouldn't go back on his words, right?" "Go back on my words?" Lang Chen asked back. "Yes, I did go back on my words. But so what? Don't say that no one here saw me go back on my words. Even if someone saw it, so what? Who dares to say anything against me? Bao Tianxia, let me tell you. Nothing can be considered despicable to people like you. Don't blame me for going back on my words. It's you who makes me sick." Bao Tianxia said coldly. "Lang Chen, without my help, you can only find Pa Bo Yu through Su Yun. You'll never get the Sequoia clansman. Only I know where that person is." Lang Chen was confused. "What Pa Bo Yu? What Sequoia clansman? Brother Bao, you're not scared silly, are you? I haven't done anything to you yet, but you're already silly? Hee hee. This makes me look down on you." "What?" Bao Tianxia's brain buzzed. Lang Chen actually didn't know what he was talking about? Could it be that they weren't talking about the same thing? "Brother Lang, Now that you've gained power, if you want me to die, at least let me know the reason before I die, right? Bao Qianxia said. Why are you looking for Su Yun? Isn't it to get him to bring you to Xing'an Mountain Range to find Per Boyu? Lang Chan said vigilantly. Old fox, what kind of crooked idea are you thinking of now? Don't dream of distracting me. The person I'm looking for isn't Su Yun at all, but Su Yun is my stumbling block. I really don't understand what you're talking about. If you don't get Per Boyu, how are you going to break through to the sky profound realm? Bao Qianxia was really stunned. Lang Chen was also stunned. Don't tell me you don't know what happened to the little girl beside Su Yun? Brother Bao, it seems like there's a misunderstanding between us today. But this misunderstanding made me understand you even more clearly. I can tell you before you die that the little girl beside Su Yun is a good helper that can make my strength soar. Bao Tianxia's mind was blank. He fell into deep confusion. Since you already know, there's no reason for you to continue living. Lang Chen withdrew his smile and said, Brother Bao, let me send you on your last journey. Dying in my hands isn't a disgrace to you. Bao Tianxia laughed bitterly. It seems like this is my fate. Fine, then give me a quick death. In the end, you still want to trick me? Lang Chen shook his head. I know that your strength is definitely not that kind of mediocre. Fight me head on. Whoever wins will get everything. Whoever loses will go to hell forever. Bao Tianxia, you better be prepared. Ha ha ha, Teacher Zhao said that the most painful thing in life is to die without spending all your money. Chapter 696. The next day, the sun had just risen from the east. Everyone was still sleeping soundly when Su Yun got up and prepared to go out. Brother. Lin Gu opened his eyes and said in a low voice, If you're worried, I'll go out and take a look. You should stay. If they don't see you when they wake up, they'll be worried. Su Yun stopped and looked back at Lin Gu, who was slowly sitting up on the sofa. It seemed that this brat was like him and didn't sleep well last night. They were overly frightened yesterday. They definitely won't wake up so early today. I'll go out and take a look myself. I'll be more at ease if you stay here. The bedroom door was gently pushed open and Cho Yun walked out silently. You guys go together. At least you can look after each other. I'm here. Don't worry. Su Yun didn't say anything else. He nodded and went out with Lin Gu. Lin Gu chuckled before he left. Sister Cho Yun, if little Dong Bei wakes up, tell him that he doesn't need to prepare breakfast. I'll buy it on the way back. Dan Jiahao doesn't have anything to eat other than instant noodles at home. Okay, I'll tell him. Cho Yun nodded. After Su Yun and Lin Gu confirmed that there was no danger in the surroundings, they proposed to go back to the villa to take a look. After the two returned to Yi Fala's villa, Lin Gu was a little puzzled. Brother, no one came here yesterday. Could it be that Lang Chen retreated in the face of difficulties? This doesn't seem like his style. Something must have happened. Otherwise, Lang Chen would definitely come to investigate. Su Yun frowned. Could it be that Bao Tianxia, that old fox, had really controlled Lang Chen? This really surprised Su Yun. Although Su Yun intended for them to fight each other, Su Yun didn't think that Bao Tianxia would win. Bao Tianxia was a cautious person. If there were no accidents, he would not fall out with Lang Chen. After the meal, Lang Chen would definitely come to the scene to look for clues, but Lin Gu said that there were absolutely no signs of anyone being here. Yesterday, it was Lin Gu who had cleaned up the mess, so he knew best what had happened. Su Yun believed that if someone had been here before, Lin Gu would definitely have been able to detect the slightest clue. Lang Chen did not appear, so something must have happened. Su Yun was sure of this, but the only person who could give Su Yun some pointers was probably the big boss Bao Tianxia. Let's go. Let's go back first. After I figure out what's going on, we'll discuss further. After Su Yun finished speaking, he quickly left the scene with Lin Gu. He believed that even if he didn't say anything, Bu Fifan would sell the house. In the future, this place would have nothing to do with them. When Su Yun and Lin Gu returned home with breakfast, everyone was already up. Seeing that Su Yun and the others had returned safely, Ruan Qingxuang let out a sigh of relief. What's the situation now? Qin Wan asked worriedly. Will those people find this place quickly? If it's not safe here, I'll find a way to apply for a house in the police station's family building. It's definitely safe to live there. No matter how bold those people are, I'm afraid they won't dare to go directly to the police station to cause trouble. Su Yun waved his hand. That's not necessary. I don't want to cause trouble for the police. If the police get involved, it won't do you any good. I won't get any advantage. Just as everyone was eating and chatting, Qin Wan-er's phone rang. She got up and went to the balcony to answer the call. Soon, she returned to the table with a heavy expression. What's wrong? Ruan Qingxuang asked with concern. Qin Wan-er took a deep breath. Last night, something happened at Tian Xiang Fish Restaurant in the city. 23 people died. The culprits were cruel and vicious. Among those who died, there were also criminals who were wanted by the entire country. Su Yun, I think this matter is related to the people who want to cause trouble for you. I'll go with you to the scene, Su Yun said as he put down his chopsticks. He wasn't in the mood to eat anymore. If it was as expected, this tragedy was caused by Bao Tianxia and Lang Chen. If Su Yun wanted to gain an advantage in this trouble, he had to know himself and his enemy. He needed to know who was the real winner last night between Bao Tianxia and Lang Chen. Lin Ge said to himself, now I know why no one went to the villa last night. They all went to eat fish. Even without Su Yun's request, Qin Wan-er wanted to take Su Yun to see what was going on. This time, she decided to throw away her identity. She slowly understood that if she interfered, it would bring unnecessary trouble to Su Yun. It was better to let Su Yun solve the problem himself. Qin Wan-er could see that Su Yun was very cautious about this matter. Obviously, the other party was very scary. The police were definitely no match for them. If the higher-ups knew this, they would definitely report it. The higher-ups would definitely make other decisions. After Qin Wan-er drove Su Yun to the scene, she quickly put on gloves and a mask. Then, she strode in. Su Yun followed behind her. He was about to put on a set of clothes to take a look, but he was stopped by 2 policemen. This is a crime scene. Unauthorized personnel are not allowed to enter, one of them said. Be careful. Your fingerprints and footprints will be treated as a suspect. He is my man. He is not an unauthorized person, Qin Wan-er turned around and said. The other policeman hesitated. Chief Qin, but we have never seen him. Who is he? He is someone you don't have the right to know. Qin Wan-er's words stunned the 2 policemen. They both respected Su Yun. Not only did they not stop him, but they also politely saluted him. They handed over the things they needed to bring to the scene with both hands and invited Su Yun to go in for inspection. Su Yun followed Qin Wan-er into the fish restaurant. The scene in front of him was really visually stimulating. If he had known that he would see such a scene, he would not have eaten breakfast this morning. Qin Wan-er tried hard to suppress the anger in her stomach and asked sternly, What the hell is going on? Why did what happened last night get reported this morning? Where is the owner of the fish restaurant? Chief Qin, last night, the entire fish restaurant was booked by someone. The owner, the waiters, and the chef were all knocked out, thrown into the warehouse, and locked from the inside. A policeman replied, when they woke up and found that the restaurant was locked from the inside, they called the police. When the people from the police station came here to solve the problem, they found that things were not so simple. Where is the owner? Qin Wan-er asked. The boss and the employees of the fish restaurant were all sent away for psychological treatment because they were too shocked and agitated. Qin Wan-er frowned. Did you ask who booked the entire fish restaurant yesterday? Yes, he said it was a woman named Li Chun. Li Chun. Now, investigate all the women named Li Chun in the city and ask the owner of the fish restaurant to identify her, Qin Wan-er ordered. Yes. Su Yun suddenly said, No need to investigate. Who are you? Qin Wan-er heard Su Yun's words and immediately said to the policeman who questioned her, this is none of your business. Continue to investigate and collect evidence." Then she walked to Su Yun and asked, "Why?" Su Yun pointed to a female corpse on the ground with a hole in her chest and said, "This is the Li Chun you are looking for. You can't find this person in Shen Zhong's household register. I'm afraid no one knows her real name." Qin Wan only glanced at Li Chun's tragic death and almost vomited all the food she ate that morning. It was too disgusting. The scene in front of her was not something she could bear. If she was not afraid of damage to the scene, she would have vomited all over the ground. Soon, Su Yun found Xiong Dong's body. This guy's eyes were still open. It seemed that he died unwillingly. Lang Chen was indeed vicious and merciless. However, after Su Yun looked at all the corpses, none of them were Lang Chen's or Bao Tianxia's. Since the two of them made such a big fuss yesterday, they must have decided to fight to the death, right? As for who died, Su Yun had no way of guessing. However, judging from the miserable state of the people at the scene, they should have all died at the hands of the same person. Obviously, Bao Tianxia could not have done anything to Li Chun and Xiong Dong. This meant that everyone here was Bao Tianxia's people and they all died at the hands of Lang Chen. An earth-profound realm expert was too terrifying. So many super experts were unable to take him down. It was conceivable that if Lang Chen had personally gone to the villa to capture them yesterday, the ones who would have died would have been Su Yun and the others. The huge gap in strength made Su Yun feel a lingering fear. According to the analysis of the scene, after these people died at the hands of Lang Chen, there were obviously more people who had fought fiercely. Could it be that Bao Tianxia had someone who could contend with Lang Chen? Then who could it be? Hiss. Su Yun sucked in a breath of cold air. Could it be Bao Tianxia himself? If that was the case, it meant that this guy had been hiding his strength all this time. In fact, he was not a weak expert who only knew a little bit of martial arts. He was also an earth-profound realm expert. The more conclusions he came to, the more surprised Su Yun was. These things seemed to be more complicated and difficult to deal with than he had imagined. "What did you find?" Qin Wan asked. Su Yun looked at Qin Wan seriously. "I'm afraid that the police can't do anything about this matter. Qin Wan you must persuade your director not to overestimate himself. If the police continue to investigate, not only will they not get any results, they will also put more innocent people in danger. The perpetrator of this matter is the person who wants to get Guagua." Qin Wan was silent for a while. "I know, I won't let the police overestimate themselves, but if someone wants to harm Guagua, I will definitely not ignore it. Even I don't have any chance of winning. Do you think you can?" "Su Yun, don't make unnecessary sacrifices. I will think of a way to deal with this matter." Qin Wan said, "I just talked to the leader on the phone and got the exact news. The higher-ups have arranged for a special combat force to come to Shenzhen to investigate and deal with this matter. If I'm not wrong, they should have arranged for your old friends to come, right?" Su Yun's heart suddenly had hope. If the brothers of Dragon's Fury came, he wouldn't have to worry about not having enough helpers around him. With them, plus Lin Gur and Cho Yun's help, Su Yun wouldn't seem so isolated and helpless. However, there was still a serious problem. Unless Wang Yi personally led the team, they might not be able to win against Lang Chen. Because among the dead people on the scene, Su Yun could be sure that at least 5 of them were super experts. Even if the brothers of Dragon Fury team cooperated well, they might not be able to reach the strength of so many super experts. Just relying on them alone wouldn't be enough to pose a threat to Lang Chen and Bao Tianxia. Unless Wang Yi, a master-level expert, could bring a few of his old comrades to lead the team, they would have a chance of winning. Because Lang Chen's strength was far beyond Su Yun's imagination. When he first met Lang Chen, he underestimated Lang Chen's strength. He always thought that Lang Chen was at most a master-level expert. He didn't expect this guy to have broken through to the profound world realm. Chapter 697. After looking at the scene, Su Yun had a rough idea of the situation. Putting aside Bao Tianxia, who was still missing, it was more likely that Lang Chen had the upper hand last night. However, Bao Tianxia's strength was still unknown. Lang Chen didn't even investigate the most important thing last night, so he must have suffered some losses. Su Yun, if the special investigation team from above comes, I will contact you, Qin Weiner said. I have to go back to the station now. Are you going home, or are you going to stay here and investigate? I already know what I want to know. You can go back to the station. I won't cause you any trouble. Su Yun and Qin Weiner left the fish restaurant together. Su Yun didn't have time to go home and wait for news. The first thing he did after leaving the restaurant was to contact Bao Tianxia. If Bao Tianxia could still answer the phone, he would be able to find out more. Although Su Yun didn't have much hope, Bao Tianxia didn't disappoint him. The moment the call went through, Su Yun felt relieved. It wasn't that Su Yun cared about Bao Tianxia, but he felt that compared to Bao Tianxia and Lang Chen was scarier. Bao Tianxia more or less needed his help, so he had the upper hand. Su Yun, you got me into trouble. Bao Tianxia's first sentence was full of resentment. How dare you call me now? Boss, I'm relieved that you can answer the phone, Su Yun said. I was really worried about you. Now that I know you're fine, I'm relieved. Let's be honest. I already went to the fish restaurant where you met Lang Chen last night, but I'm not sure what the situation is right now. That's why I wanted to ask you. Bao Tianxia sneered. Humph, what else do you want to know? My men died in Lang Chen's hands. I almost lost my life too. You made such a beautiful move. You made Lang Chen and I misunderstood that we had conflicting goals, so we fought each other and you reaped the benefits. Big boss, I don't know what kind of conflict of interest you have, but since you're fine, I'm sure Lang Chen has already. Su Yun probed. I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you. I don't have the ability to kill Lang Chen. Bao Tianxia said, since you've called, I'll tell you a piece of good news. Although he's taken advantage of me, I didn't lose out either. You've gotten the result you wanted, where both sides suffered. Isn't this good news for you? Su Yun nodded. Indeed, big boss. What do you want me to say? Thank you for the trouble? You've worked hard? Thank you very much. Cut the crap. I want you to meet me. Bao Tianxia said. Su Yun didn't refuse. Sure, you pick the place. Let's go to your place. Bao Tianxia said heavily. Su Yun smiled bitterly. Big boss, yesterday Lang Chen's people also went to my place. Now I don't even dare to go back, and you still dare to go with me? I'm homeless now. When Bao Tianxia heard Su Yun's words, he sneered. Cut the crap. I'm not talking about Yi Fala's property. Don't think that I don't know where you're hiding. When you went to Taiwan, I already monitored everyone around you. I know that you have a little brother called Dan Jiahao who bought a small house in Shenzhen. You win. Su Yun's heart trembled. This bastard is really everywhere. Bao Tianxia snorted. I'm just trying to save my life. Although we're not friends, we're still allies, right? If you don't want me to go with you, then I'll tell Lang Chen the address. At most, we'll fight to the death. Su Yun didn't dare to take the risk. I promise you. Since you know the address, you don't need me to pick you up, right? Humph, I'm already in this district. I'm just waiting for you to come back. Bao Tianxia said his last sentence and hung up. This old fox is really troublesome. Su Yun had no choice but to hurry back. He didn't want the destitute Bao Tianxia to do anything crazy. Choosing to ally with Bao Tianxia was the only way to ensure Guagua's safety. Bao Tianxia wasn't as spirited as before. He sat opposite Su Yun. Everyone in the room was abnormally nervous. Lin Guo and Chou Yun were in front of everyone, giving them a slight sense of security. Su Yun, I've already lost everything because of you. So, you have to get rid of Lang Chen with me. Bao Tianxia sneered as he looked at the cup of water on the coffee table. In the past, I used to treat you with the best tea. Is this how you treat me? Su Yun shrugged. Boss, this is a special situation. You have to be more tolerant. It's good enough that we have a place to sit down and a cup of water to drink. If we don't get rid of Leng Chen, I'm afraid we won't be able to sit down and have a cup of tea in peace, right? Bao Tianxia snorted. However, he still picked up the cup and drank the tasteless water. Do you have a way to deal with Leng Chen? Su Yun said, if you really have a way to deal with Leng Chen, I'll consider going to Xing and Mountain with you. Bao Tianxia raised his head and looked at Su Yun. How long are you going to use this to deal with me? Su Yun, the reason why I'm standing on the same side as you this time is absolutely not because of this matter. Leng Chen is ruthless. Although I injured him now, once he recovers, he definitely won't let me go. So, I just want him to die now. I want him to die too, Su Yun said. But I know I don't have the strength to do so. However, Boss's strength really does amaze me. You even injured the Netherworld King. Bao Tianxia was very unhappy. He had indeed injured Leng Chen, but Leng Chen had also injured him quite badly. Their battle yesterday could be said to have shocked the heavens and earth. Bao Tianxia, who had been hiding for so many years, had to use all of his skills to save his life. I do have a way to kill him, but I need your cooperation, Bao Tianxia said coldly. Su Yun was stunned. He didn't understand what Bao Tianxia was saying. Guagua took a step forward beside Wan Qingshuang. Why do you have so much nonsense to say? Don't keep us in suspense. If you have something to say, just say it. Can't you see that we don't welcome you here? Bao Tianxia's eyes flashed coldly. Su Yun cried out in alarm in his heart. However, it was too late. Bao Tianxia was so fast that Lin Ge and Chou Yan didn't even have a chance to react before Guagua was snatched into Bao Tianxia's arms. Bao Tianxia, don't talk about the child. I'll agree to anything you want me to do. Su Yun stood up angrily. Our goal is to kill Leng Chen. It has nothing to do with the child. Bao Tianxia chuckled coldly. Su Yun, you're wrong. Killing Leng Chen has a lot to do with this child. Do you think I don't know anything? Let me tell you, Leng Chen has already told me everything. His goal is to kill this child from the Silhouette tribe who can quickly increase his strength. Humph, you're very surprised, aren't you? Su Yun was very shocked. Only Yu Maren had told him about the Silhouette tribe. Leng Chen probably didn't know about this, right? Leng Chen was most likely only suspecting that Guagua could help him quickly increase his strength. However, Bao Tianxia was so certain. Su Yun, what do you think I care about under the Xing'an mountain range? It's not about those rare treasures. Bao Tianxia said. It's because the Silhouette tribe's patriarch is buried there. I can find Pa Bo Yu on that patriarch's body that can't be found anywhere else in the world. I know the secret of the Silhouette tribe. You should know as well, right? Shock. Bao Tianxia brought Su Yun nothing but shock. He knew everything. Su Yun really regretted his actions of inviting a wolf into his house. However, it was too late to say anything now. If you really want me to kill Leng Chen, it's very simple. Just give me this girl. Bao Tianxia said. Yesterday's battle has already forced me to break through the limit of the Grandmaster realm. I'm now an Earth-profound realm expert. As long as I have this girl by my side, breaking through to the Sky-profound realm is just around the corner. At that time, the first person I'll kill will be Hell King Leng Chen. Su Yun thought that no one knew this secret, but now it seemed that wasn't the case. Yu Maren wasn't the only one in the world who studied human history. Bao Tianxia was also one of them. It was very possible that he knew the secret of the Silhouette tribe. If you have anything to say, let's sit down and talk. Su Yun tried to distract Bao Tianxia. Lin Ge and Chou Yan weren't far from Bao Tianxia. Although Bao Tianxia's strength was much higher than theirs, it could be seen that he didn't want to fight with them because of Leng Chen's heavy injuries. If he had a chance to win, he wouldn't have spent so much effort to get Su Yun to bring him in and seize the opportunity to capture Guagua. Once Su Yun created an opportunity, Bao Tianxia believed that with the tacit understanding between him and Lin Ge and Chou Yan, they would definitely make a move to save her. Trying to play tricks in front of me. You're still too inexperienced. Bao Tianxia pinched Guagua's chin. Lin Brat and Fox Supreme Cho Yun, the two of you retreat immediately. If you dare to move, I'll break her neck. If I can't have it, I won't let Lang Chen have it either. If I say it, then I'll do it. If worst comes to worst, we'll fight to the death. Guagua was subdued. Although she was so scared that she didn't know what to do and her lips were trembling uncontrollably, she was more obedient than anyone imagined. She didn't say a word as she faced this sudden situation. Don't hurt her. Ruan Qingxuang's legs turned to jelly. Lin Gur and Cho Yun had no choice but to follow Bao Tianxia's instructions and slowly retreat step by step. Right now, ensuring Guagua's safety was the most important thing. Bao Tianxia was heavily injured. Before he fully recovered, he definitely wouldn't be able to withstand the simultaneous attacks of two super experts. However, he had no choice but to take the risk and obtain this little girl first. If he was a step too late and Lang Chen took the initiative, he would never be able to win. This was why Bao Tianxia had insisted on Su Yun's permission to meet him here and didn't force his way in. He knew that Lin Gu and Cho Yun were guarding this place. Moreover, before he saw Guagua, he couldn't be sure that this child was from the Zixuhoya tribe. When Bao Tianxia saw Guagua and the piece of Pebo jade around her neck, he was sure of everything. However, with Lin Gu and Cho Yun guarding the front, he didn't have the confidence to succeed in capturing Guagua in one move. Therefore, when Guagua took a step forward, Bao Tianxia grabbed his only chance to control Guagua. As long as he could control this little girl, he would definitely win. Right now, Bao Tianxia only needed to rely on Guagua as a protective talisman to leave. In the future, the entire world would be his. Retreat. Continue to retreat. Bao Tianxia roared. And you, Su Yun, retreat. Chapter 698. Su Yun didn't have the time to regret and blame himself. Although Bao Tianxia was much stronger than them, he was heavily injured. As long as he revealed a flaw, either he, Lin Gu, or Cho Yun would have the opportunity to kill or subdue him. However, Bao Tianxia had always been cautious. How could he reveal a flaw at such a crucial moment? Furthermore, the three of them had already retreated further and further away from Bao Tianxia. They even gave Bao Tianxia enough space to bring Guagua out of the room. Retreat. Retreat to the balcony. Continue to retreat. Bao Tianxia roared at the top of his lungs. He tightened his grip on Guagua's throat. Guagua's face had already turned slightly red from the lack of oxygen. Cho Yun had no other choice. She couldn't just watch Guagua die. The moment she retreated to the balcony, she knew that they no longer had a chance to snatch Guagua back from Bao Tianxia's hands. Now that she couldn't even count on Su Yun, who else could she count on? Even if Bao Tianxia was heavily injured, no one else had the ability to stop him. Furthermore, Bao Tianxia only needed to use a little strength to break Guagua's throat. When Su Yun and the other two had retreated to a safe distance, Bao Tianxia knew that he had won. He had won everything, including Lang Chen. As long as he took the little girl away and endured for a while, he would be able to break through to the profound sky realm. At that time, even the other two sovereigns would submit to him, let alone Lang Chen. Bao Tianxia didn't waste any more time. He rushed to the door as fast as he could. After he left, he would immediately tell Lang Chen the address and let him end everything. He would let Lang Chen know that he, Bao Tianxia, was the one who took away the person he wanted. He would let Lang Chen know that he, Bao Tianxia, was the final winner. If you want to leave, put her down. When this voice floated by his ear, Bao Tianxia felt a sharp pain from his wrist that was gripping Guagua's neck. The sharp boning knife had pierced through his wrist. The furious Bao Tianxia only saw a slightly childish face. Little Northeast's agility far exceeded Su Yun's expectations. He actually stopped Bao Tianxia, who was retreating at full speed, and stabbed Bao Tianxia before he could react. Little Northeast then mercilessly swung the bone cleaver in his left hand at Bao Tianxia's right shoulder. At this time, Little Northeast had already gotten over it. When he killed for the first time yesterday, he was quite frightened. But today, he only treated the other party as a wild boar that had gone berserk. However, Little Northeast had underestimated the strength of this wild boar. Bao Tianxia did not dodge the attack. Instead, he stepped forward and pulled Guagua under the blade. If this saber came down, the consequences would be unimaginable. Little Northeast was shocked. Pulling back his saber with all his might was much more difficult than slashing out with his saber. Bao Tianxia took the opportunity to kick Little Northeast away. Although Lil Northeast was agile and wielded a good blade, he couldn't withstand Bao Tianxia's furious kick. When Lil Northeast's body slammed heavily into the wall, he spat out a mouthful of blood. Lil Northeast's desperate struggle had bought Su Yun 2 to 3 precious seconds. The moment Bao Tianxia got rid of Lil Northeast, Su Yun was already in front of him. Without waiting for Bao Tianxia to react, Su Yun's fist landed between Bao Tianxia's chin and ear like an arrow. Bao Tianxia's ears buzzed and his mind went blank. The hostage in his hand had already been saved by Lin Gu. Chou Yun, who was right behind Bao Tianxia, pierced Bao Tianxia's chest with her flexible sword without hesitation. Su Yun grabbed Bao Tianxia's neck with both hands and twisted it in the opposite direction. Gotcha! Only when Bao Tianxia's tibia was broken did he finally breathe a sigh of relief. Chou Yun pulled out her flexible sword. No one knew if it was to vent her anger or if it was because she was afraid that Bao Tianxia would wake up again, but she pierced Bao Tianxia's heart again. Bao Tianxia's eyes were wide open as he died. Perhaps even in death, he still couldn't believe that he, who had been brilliant all his life, would be defeated by a 17-year-old chef's apprentice. Guagua was surprisingly calm after being saved. She obediently lay in Ruan Qingxuang's arms and used her eyes to express her gratitude to the people who saved her. Are you okay? Su Yun went forward and helped the injured Lil Northeast up. Lil Northeast rubbed his lower abdomen that was kicked by Bao Tianxia and lifted his shirt to take a look. The abdominal muscles on his lower abdomen were all bruised. Ouch! Ouch! This old bastard's kick is really ruthless. Even a wild boar's head wouldn't hurt this much. F***ck, if he wasn't already dead, I would have kicked him 100 times and let him have a taste of what it feels like. Su Yun grabbed Lil Northeast's pulse. He was worried that Bao Tianxia's kick would cause internal injuries to Lil Northeast, which couldn't be seen from the outside. If Lil Northeast reacted, it would be too late. However, to Su Yun's surprise, Lil Northeast's pulse was very stable. There were no signs of internal injuries at all. It seems that the old man who swindled a pig's head meat on the mountain didn't drink your family's sorghum wine for nothing. Su Yun smiled in a relaxed manner and shook his head. Not only did he teach you a saber technique to kill wild boars, he also taught you a profound Qi cultivation technique that allows you to use gentleness to overcome strength and borrow strength to neutralize strength. Lil Northeast shook his head. The old man really didn't transfer any inner strength to me. I've read wuxia books before. Something like the 9 Yang Sutra or the 9 Yin Sutra. The old man didn't teach me anything. He just told me to calm down and breathe normally, adjust my rhythm, and feel the essence of heaven and earth, the essence of the sun and moon, and so on. Lil Northeast, you're so awesome. Does your family know? Lin Gu exclaimed. You really couldn't judge a book by its cover. Maybe Lil Northeast himself didn't know that with his current strength, he could be called a super expert in the underground world where experts were as common as clouds. Su Yun was also quite surprised. Even he, who was known as a talented and intelligent person, had to go through a lot of hardships to break through the realm of a super expert. Lin Gu was able to break through the mental state of a super expert earlier than him. It was also inseparable from the devilish training of the evil god Lu Xuanji. Moreover, the evil god Old Master Lu was a level 9 Earth Profound Realm expert. Together with Lin Ji's intelligence and talent, he could achieve what he had today. However, one couldn't see the slightest shadow of the so-called talent and intelligence on Lil Northeast. Moreover, in just 2 years on the mountain, he was trained to this level by an old man. Because Lil Northeast didn't have a formal system of mental state and ancient martial arts, he couldn't judge the level of his mental state. However, there was one thing without a doubt. At least now, even the most powerful expert couldn't hurt him. My family really doesn't know. My father is still angry with me because I stole more than 100 kilograms of pig head meat from home. Lil Northeast said gloomily. Obviously, he felt that it wasn't worth it to learn so little from the old man for more than 100 kilograms of pig head meat. The mysterious old man mentioned by Lil Northeast was definitely not a simple person. This person was probably someone they didn't even dare to imagine. Could it be one of the 3 emperors? This wasn't very possible. One of the 3 emperors, Mao Bo and Zhang Tai Sui, went to the Yellow Springs together. As for the other 2, one was a rumored woman, almost no one had seen her before. The other was Huang Fu Guo. Huang Fu Guo probably didn't have the time to go to the mountain to steal pig head meat. What kind of legendary person did Lil Northeast meet? To be able to train Lil Northeast to this level in 2 years, even a sky-profound realm expert wouldn't have such an exaggerated ability. This is your fate. Don't talk about 100 kilograms of pig head meat. Even if you ask me to pay 10,000 kilograms of pig head meat to see that old man, I think it's worth it. Su Yun said, "You're lucky. You used 100 kilograms of pig head meat to exchange for a chance of 2 years. If Lil Northeast had half of their talent, his achievements wouldn't just be like this now. I'll pay even 100,000 kilograms." Lin Gu shrugged, his face full of envy and jealousy. How cruel. Lil Northeast actually bumped into such a precious old man, and actually missed him because his family was reluctant to give up on such a small amount of pig head meat. God, this was too unfair. When I have time, I'll bring 2 kilograms of pig head meat to your mountain as bait every day. I'll definitely drag that old man out. Lil Northeast scratched his head. It's not that I haven't looked for him, but I've already explored the mountains and forests within a radius of 30 kilometers. I'm afraid he's no longer at my place. TSK, TSK, TSK. I really want to beat you up. Lin Gu sighed. Cho Yun interrupted their conversation. How do we deal with this guy? Our current residence has been exposed. Moreover, even if it's not exposed, I'm afraid no one would dare to continue living here after someone died in the family, right? Dan Jiahao's head was about to explode. This house was bought after the new year. In order to move in time, he bought this exquisitely renovated house. AI, selling it second-hand? That would be torturous. I've already paid off a huge sum of money. But if I continue to live here, forget it. Looking at LV Wenny's terrified expression, I don't want to continue living here. Bu Fifan suddenly patted Dan Jiahao's shoulder from behind. Brother Hao, we're the ones who brought this trouble to you. You don't have to keep this house anymore. When this dies down, I'll buy you a nice house in the city. Also, if you get married and have children in the future, this house won't be enough for you to live in. It'll be at least 150 square meters. Don't think it's a pity. Brother Hao, I didn't make friends with you for nothing. Dan Jiahao didn't know if he was grateful for his good fortune or just unlucky. Ruan Qingxuang shook her head. I'm afraid we really don't have anywhere to go now. Do we have to go back to the hotel? Su Yun definitely wouldn't take the risk to go back to the hotel before he figured out Lang Chen's current situation. There were too many innocent people in the hotel. Qin Wan said that the higher-ups had arranged for someone to come. If it was someone from the Dragon Brigade, Su Yun could get in touch with them. While Lang Chen was injured, they could seize the opportunity to solve this problem. Then, it wouldn't be too late for them to go back to the hotel. Ms. Ruan. I have a place that I share with someone, little Dong Bei suddenly said. No, you have a friend who shares the house with you. We can't let innocent people get involved. Su Yun, who knew when something would happen. Wouldn't it be troublesome if it happened now? Little Dong Bei shook his head. If there are people, I won't let you go. I don't want outsiders to know that I killed someone. My friend who shares the house with me went home to attend the funeral. He probably won't be back for a week. I'm just worried that the place I rented is too small. There are so many of us. It's too much for Ms. Ruan and the others. It doesn't matter if it's big or small. As long as there's a place to stay, we'll treat it differently under special circumstances. Ruan Qingxuang said, Little Dong Bei, you've helped us so much. We don't know how to thank you. Say thank you, then I'll go. Little Dong Bei didn't waste time. He immediately packed up with everyone and went directly to his rented house. Lin Gu stayed behind to deal with the aftermath as usual. When everyone was crowded in the small basement, they realized that the place that Little Dong Bei said was too small could actually be so small. Chapter 699. Although the place was small, at least they had a place to stay. Su Yun knew that it was unrealistic to sleep in such a place, so he went out to contact Qin Wanner. Qin Wanner must know where the special forces were staying. All they needed to do was to arrange for everyone to be there before nightfall. After Su Yun left, Lil Dong Bei also went out to buy some food for everyone. Although he did not earn much, he was a loyal friend. After all, this was his home, and it was his duty to entertain the guests. Bu Fifan immediately suggested to go with Lil Dong Bei. He wanted to be Lil Dong Bei's wallet, and Ruan Qingxuang agreed. Bu Fifan's mind was filled with questions after the two little brothers left the room. He was very interested in why Lil Dong Bei was so awesome. He also hoped that he could become like Lil Dong Bei. At least, when the big guy was in danger, he would be able to step forward and do something within his power. He did not want to be protected by others. Right now, he felt that he was a burden. Lil Dong Bei was not stingy. He told Lin Gu all the breathing methods and essentials that the old man had taught him. However, he did not know how to explain the swordsmanship that Bu Fifan was more interested in. After all, it required practice. Even if he could not practice it on a wild boar, he could at least practice it on a domestic pig. Bu Fifan also knew that some things could not be forced, especially what he wanted. It was impossible for him to achieve it quickly. Lil Dong Bei's rapid progress in the past 2 years was built on the foundation of the mysterious old man behind him. However, he did not have the mysterious old man behind him. If he relied on himself, he would not be able to achieve anything in 20 years, let alone 2 years. In Bu Fifan's heart, his desire to go to the hunter school was getting out of control. Bu Fifan was like a possessed man. He firmly believed that if he could go to the hunter school for a while, he would definitely be useful to everyone instead of being a burden. Although Bu Fifan didn't know much, he could see that all these troubles were directed at Guagua. He treated Guagua as his own little sister. He wanted to protect Guagua. This was the reason why he wanted to be strong, and it was also the only reason why he wanted to be strong. Brother Liang, everyone says that you Northeasterners are righteous. I've seen it for myself today. Bu Fifan carried the food he bought and said, I like to make friends with righteous people. From now on, we will be brothers. Of course. Little Northeast chuckled. The people in my place are all righteous. Whoever is good to me, I will be good to them. Actually, at the very beginning, when those 3 people barged in and wanted to kill us, I thought of running away. Because I have only killed pigs, how could I kill people? But when I think about how Mr. Wan and the others treat me so well, and Brother Shanzi thinks so highly of me, I don't feel good. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have thought of running away by myself. Bu Fifan shook his head. Even if you leave, no one will blame you. After all, we already feel very guilty for dragging you into this matter. Little Northeast raised his head and looked at Bu Fifan seriously. Brother, if I really ran away at that time, even if nothing happened to you in the end, I would feel guilty for the rest of my life. At that time, I only had one thought. Since everyone thinks so highly of me, I have to do something for everyone. Even if I go to jail for manslaughter for the rest of my life, I won't let my conscience down. It's much better than going against my conscience and being condemned for the rest of my life. Besides, Brother Yun and Mr. Wan are such righteous people. Even if I really go to jail, they will definitely help me take care of my parents. After a pause, Little Northeast continued, I'm just like this. I treat others the way they treat me. We can owe anything in our life, but we can't owe a conscience. Brother Liang, I've only admired a few people in my life. Old Su is one, and you are another. Bu Fifan said firmly. Let's go back and have a good drink. Little Northeast was stunned and patted Bu Fifan's shoulder. Brother, I'm afraid Mr. Wan won't allow you to drink. Haha, I heard you call her aunt. Well, is there a difference in seniority between us? Nonsense, that's because Guagua is my sister. Bu Fifan was also quite depressed by his awkward seniority. Little Northeast clicked his tongue. Indeed, the relationship was a bit messy. Mr. Wan and Officer Chin called each other sisters, but Guagua called one mother and the other sister. The two of them hurried back after shopping. Everyone was probably hungry now. After Su Yun met Chin Wan, he told her what had just happened. Chin Wan was also shocked and broke out in a cold sweat. Fortunately, they had a guy like Little Northeast with them. Otherwise, things would be more complicated and troublesome. Have you arranged the hotel for the special forces sent by the higher-ups? Su Yun said, I think we should let Sister Shuang and the others stay there at night. It's more or less safer. Little Northeast's rented room is too small. It's just a basement, so no one can rest. Chin Wan nodded and said, I was just about to talk to you about this. The leader said that since they are the soldiers of the special forces sent by the higher-ups, we can't treat them badly. We must choose the best place to stay. However, there are financial regulations. Being thrifty is the General Secretary's call. We can't ignore it. So, you should understand what I mean, right? Yes. Su Yun smiled slightly. You can report to the leader that you have shares in Shinkai Hotel. You can make the decision and arrange it. You don't need to spend a penny on finance. This is a good reference, right? It's cheaper than staying in a small hotel for 31 nights. That's what I mean. Chin Wan said, in this case, around 4 p.m., the special forces sent by the higher-ups will arrive. I will arrange for them to stay in Shinkai Hotel. You can go and tell the housekeeping department to reserve a room first. Su Yun nodded. I will call Chong now and ask him to go to the hotel to arrange it. After they arrive, I will bring everyone back to the hotel. Alright, Wan, I want to have dinner with the special forces alone tonight. I don't want the higher-ups to be there. I don't know how to say a lot of things. Chin Wan was stunned. What if you don't know the special forces members? It doesn't matter if I know them or not. I believe they should know me. Su Yun said, trust me. Chin Wan nodded. Then I will try my best to convince the higher-ups that we don't need to give them a welcome dinner tonight. I'm afraid this will be a bit difficult. After all, they came all the way here. The higher-ups in the city also attach great importance to this matter. If they don't even entertain them for dinner, it will make them look bad. I can tell you a simple method. You can tell your director. Su Yun whispered into Chin Wan-er's ear. Chin Wan-er was numbed by Su Yun's panting. After Su Yun finished speaking, he quickly left. He told Chin Wan-er that she only needed to tell her director, I heard that the special forces are also responsible for investigating corruption. Maybe with just this sentence, no higher-ups would be willing to take the risk. At that time, the higher-ups would definitely tell Chin Wan-er to be in charge of the reception at night. As for the standards, of course, it would be up to Chin Wan-er. They would also say something very official. While eating and drinking well, you must also be diligent and thrifty. Pay attention to the problem of financial expenditure. Su Yun, this guy, really saw through these officials. They only needed to throw the problems to their subordinates to solve. As the higher-ups, they only needed to give instructions. When Su Yun returned to Little Dongbei's rented basement and told everyone that they could go back to the hotel to sleep at night, everyone was excited for a while. Little Dongbei was quite embarrassed. It's all because my place is too small. Otherwise, Brother Yun wouldn't have to go through so much trouble. I should be the one saying polite words. It's us who have troubled you. Su Yun smiled and said, Little Dongbei, if you really want to be my brother, then learn from them. Don't treat yourself as an outsider. Don't be polite. Otherwise, we will also be very polite to you. Then, we won't be like a family, right? Little Dong Bei nodded heavily. Su Yun could always give him this kind of warm feeling. No wonder Bu Fifan always said good things about Su Yun. If it were him, he would also talk about Su Yun to others. His head would be full of Su Yun's goodness. Brother, Lin Gu pulled Su Yun out of the room. Aren't you afraid that Lang Chen's people will cause trouble at the hotel? Then things will get out of hand. If innocent people get dragged into this and get hurt, I don't care. But what about you? How are you going to deal with this? Don't worry, nothing will happen. Su Yun said, the higher-ups have already arranged for the special forces to investigate and solve the major murder case in Tian Xiong Fish Restaurant. I told Qin Wan to arrange for the people to stay in Xing Kai Hotel. The special forces members that came this time might be my old friends. With them here, Lang Chen won't dare to act rashly. Lin Gu nodded. Although it sounded quite safe, he was still a bit worried. Did the special forces have the strength to deal with Lang Chen? We were able to easily take care of Bao Tianxia today because he was too heavily injured. Su Yun, if Lang Chen was able to let Bao Tianxia go, then his injuries are clearly very serious. This is my chance. As long as I can find his location, I will definitely take care of him. Brother, don't worry. As long as there's a chance, I definitely won't go easy. Lin Gu replied firmly. Lang Chen has done enough bad things in his life. The heavens have already shown him mercy by letting him live until now. It's time for him to go to the Yellow Springs and enjoy his life. Su Yun patted Lin Ji's shoulder. Everything will end. Let's go back to the room. If we whisper too much, everyone will be worried. At this time, Little Dong Bei and Bu Fifan had already distributed the food they bought to everyone. Everyone who hadn't had a good meal since last night was hungry and they all wolfed down the food. If they didn't eat their fill, how would they have the energy to face the unknown danger? Right now, everyone's thoughts were the same. They had to work together and get through this together. Guagua was very touched. Although she was young, she knew that this was all because of her. If everyone wanted to get rid of this trouble, it was very simple. As long as they chose to stay away from her, they wouldn't be in any danger. However, no one chose to leave at this time. Even if they didn't have the ability to do anything, they all used their actions to show that they stayed here to give Guagua hope. The fact that they stayed here meant that they believed that Su Yun could solve all the problems. Chapter 700. In the afternoon, Su Yun and Ruan Qingshuang returned to Xingkai Hotel in advance to meet Qin Wan. Now, the leaders in the city had given Qin Wan full authority to take charge and arrange everything. Everyone knew that it was not a good thing. If they could not handle it, it would be easy to lose their jobs and positions. Qin Wan was also very clear. After all, she was born in such a family. For so many years, her father had experienced dozens of big and small position changes, promotions, and demotions. There was definitely a reason. In particular, she knew how difficult it was to be a deputy. Because of a word from the leader, you had to rack your brains to find a way to complete it. If the task was completed well, the leader above would make meritorious achievements. Then, he could win the opportunity to be promoted earlier and win the opportunity to work for the leader at a higher level. Then, as a deputy, he might have the opportunity to be promoted to the position of a leader. Then, he would do the same thing, ordering the deputy who replaced him. When he made meritorious achievements, he would jump to a higher position and work for the leader at a higher level. This cycle repeated endlessly, until one day, he would receive a retirement notice. If they couldn't climb to a certain height on the day they received the notice, they would lose all their authority and fall into a deep sense of loss. They would experience what it meant when people say that the tea cools when the tree falls and the monkeys scatter when the tree falls. This was the ending that people would face as soon as they entered the officialdom. Few people could be treated like the founding heroes, and no one could be treated like Premier Zhou, who had the United Nations flag lowered to half-mast. However, even so, there were still people who would be happy to fight in the official path. In the end, there were very few people who left their names in history, but more and more people went to prison. People who understood this principle would transfer their wives and children abroad before they got enough money and went to prison. Then, they would seize the opportunity to make a lot of money and leave unscathed. Many wives of officials were very worried before they went abroad. After leaving Hua Xia, they could not even find a person to play mahjong. When they really went abroad, they found that the rich district where they lived had so many wives of previous positions. Mahjong? Even if there were 10 tables, they wouldn't have to worry about a shortage of seats. If they were late, they might not even be able to get a seat. There were too many digressions. Back in reality, Su Yun did not receive these VIPs from the special forces with Ruan Qingxuang. Instead, he went to the F&B department to look for Shanzi. He wanted to help Little Dong Bei apply for leave. Little Dong Bei lost his phone when he was fighting with the 3 people in the villa. After knowing what had happened, Shanzi was quite shocked. He did not go back with everyone that day because the hotel had been holding a medicinal cuisine training for the past few nights to select talents among the chefs. Those who were selected would have their wages doubled, so everyone was scrambling to be the first. The training ended quite late, so Shanzi had been staying in the hotel. Brother Yun, according to what you said, this matter is not over yet. Should we put aside the training for now? Shanzi said, solving the problem is the most important thing now. You don't have to worry about this matter. The higher-ups are very concerned about this matter. Otherwise, they wouldn't have arranged for someone to come over. Su Yun patted Shanzi's shoulder and said, just do your job well. Tonight, you'll personally cook a few signature dishes. Shanzi grinned and said, that's not a problem. It's a good opportunity for me to show those guys with potential to see my culinary skills. By the way, Little Dong Bei will come over later, right? Su Yun nodded and looked at the time. They should be arriving soon. He will definitely report to you as soon as he returns to the hotel. Speaking of the devil, the first thing Little Dong Bei did when he arrived at the hotel was to go to the F&B department. Brother Yun, Brother Shanzi, you're really weird. I was just talking about you and you're already here. Shanzi laughed. Little Dong Bei smiled and walked to Shanzi's side. He said to Su Yun, Brother Yun, the guests have arrived. Sister Shuang has already taken them to their rooms. I got it. Prepare to cook, Su Yun said. I'll go and arrange it. When Su Yun saw the members of the special forces, he knew that the higher-ups had placed great importance on this matter. However, they had also underestimated the enemy's strength. Wang Yi didn't personally lead the team, but 3 captains of the special forces came. The captain of the Modern Dragon Fury team was Shadow Dragon Hua Leiteng, the captain of the Dragon Prestige team was Mad Dragon Gong Jiuxiao, and the captain of the Dragon Battle Special Forces was Flying Dragon Yuan Qingdi. The 3 captains of the Special Forces of the Dragon Brigade also brought the members with the strongest adaptability in the team. Behind Hua Leiteng were Black Dragon Han Zhan, Green Dragon Chen Feng, and Violent Dragon Hua Xiaolu. Behind Gong Jiuxiao was Wind Dragon Yang Zhao, Flood Dragon Horse Teng Fei, and Hidden Dragon Yuan Zhang. Beside Yuan Qingdi were Azure Dragon Xing Zhe, Fire Dragon Horse Fu Bang, and Soaring Dragon Guan Liang. These people were the best of the best in the Dragon Brigade. As long as they cooperated well with each other, they could become a very strong team. Damn! Chen Feng's eyes almost popped out. He didn't expect that the person standing in front of them would be Su Yun. Boss, are we dreaming? Violent Dragon, hurry up and pinch me. Let me know that this isn't a dream. Hua Xiaolu didn't hold back and gave Chen Feng a hard pinch. Chen Feng was in so much pain that he grimaced. Damn, you really pinched me. Su Yun smiled. It felt good to see his brothers again. Now that we're in Shenzhen, if I don't do my part as a host, wouldn't I be letting you guys down? Of course, I have to let you guys live comfortably. I knew that the leaders of Shenzhen City wouldn't arrange a 5-star hotel for us. Boss, you're sponsoring us out of friendship. Hua Xiaolu sighed. Boss, I want to work with you more and more now. You're rich now. Such a big business. Hua Xiaolu wasn't exaggerating. Su Yun gave them too much of a shock. The other members of the special forces were also shocked, especially Gong Jiuxiao. When Su Yun was in the army, he was chasing after him. Now that he was out of the army, he could still do well. This wasn't something that could be jealous of. Captain Yen Long, you really make us admire you. We can't catch up to you in this lifetime. Captain Yuan Qingdi sighed. To be able to see you here, it really feels like a dream. Haha, we haven't seen each other in a long time. I heard that you went back to the army once. Unfortunately, I was out on a mission and couldn't catch up with you. Brother Fai Long, don't call me that anymore. I'm no longer a member of the Dragon Brigade. Now, Old Hua is the captain of Dragon's Fury. Su Yun said, you can just call me Su Yun. Hua Leitang could be said to be the calmest person here. This matter can't be related to you, right? Yen. Su Yun, let's get down to business. Let's go. Let's talk while we eat. Today, I'll give you guys a welcome dinner. Su Yun, tomorrow, the Shenzhong police will definitely talk to you guys again. However, they know too little. Also, there's a police representative, Qin Ju, here. It's not a small meeting. Chen Feng sighed again. Damn. Qin Ju, you're really good. You're climbing fast. Qin Wan smiled awkwardly. She had made great contributions. Which one of them had nothing to do with Su Yun? Shadow Team, there's no mission tonight. Can we have a drink with boss? Hua Xiaolu followed behind Hua Leitang. Hua Leitang turned around and glared at him but didn't say anything. Hua Xiaolu laughed. Then I'll take that as a yes. Xinkai Hotel's super luxurious single room could easily accommodate 18 people at a large table. However, Su Yun didn't let Chong and the others participate in this meal. Other than the 12 people arranged by the Dragon Brigade, there was only himself, Qin Wan Lin Gur, Chou Yun, Ruan Qingxuang, Guagua, and Bu Fifan. I say, Qin Ju, the city leaders asked you to arrange for us today. No matter what, we're a secret team carrying out a secret mission. It's not good to have so many outsiders here, right? As soon as everyone sat down, Gong Jiuxiao threw a big problem to Qin Wan Yuan Qingdi and the others all knew that Gong Jiuxiao didn't get along with Su Yun in the army, so they weren't surprised that he said something like that. Qin Wan was really at a loss for a moment. Gong, don't stir up trouble. Chen Feng glared at him. This isn't Longwei's territory. If it weren't for our boss, would you be able to live in a 5-star hotel? Go stay in your little hostel. He would never allow anyone to challenge Su Yun's authority. Su Yun raised his hand to signal Chen Feng not to make the atmosphere so tense. He smiled and said, indeed, we shouldn't be involved in this matter. After all, I'm no longer a member of the Dragon Brigade. However, this matter started because of me. I know better than anyone else. I treat the Dragon Brigade as my brothers. I don't want them to act recklessly without knowing the situation. Know yourself and know your enemy, and you'll never be defeated. Captain Kwong, don't you know this simple truth? Kwong Long, I believe that Su Yun won't harm us, Hua Leitang said. There's no harm in listening to his advice. Before we came here, the higher-ups told us that although we're in 3 teams, I'm still in charge of the overall situation. Even if you don't want to listen to Su Yun, you have to give me some face. Yes, of course. I have to give face to the Shadow Team. Although Gong Jiuxiao said so, his tone was obviously disdainful. Bu Fifan was already pissed off when Su Yun said the first thing he said. Seeing Su Yun going against him at every turn, Bu Fifan was naturally pissed off. With your character, I really don't know what qualifications you have to be a captain. My godfather has been very polite to you. Don't be so self-righteous. This was the first time Bu Fifan had publicly admitted that Su Yun was his godfather. In the past, he used to call him Old Su. He had never admitted to anyone that Su Yun was his godfather. After he said this, even Su Yun was surprised. This kid was too impulsive. Gong Jiuxiao saw that a kid dared to mock him and even called Su Yun godfather. Of course, he was even more unhappy. Like father, like son. He had to teach him a lesson. Kid, do you know who you're talking to? What you should be doing is serving tea and pouring water. Respect your elders. For the sake of the big picture, Su Yun had to let Bu Fifan suffer first. He did not want to fall out with him as soon as they met. Bu Fifan, you have no right to interrupt when adults are talking. Sit down and eat. Otherwise, go out and find Chong and the rest. I asked you to help take care of Guagua, not talk back to your elders. Bu Fifan was convinced that Su Yun had scolded him, but he really could not stand Gong Jiuxiao's smug expression. In the end, he acted impolitely and slammed the table, got up, and left. Although he was a child, which boy of his age did not want to lose face? At least, he would not have to be angry when he was with Chong. Chapter 701. Seeing Bu Fifan leave angrily, Guagua felt a little indignant for her little brother. She got up and prepared to leave, but Su Yun said firmly, Guagua, sit down. This has something to do with you. You can't leave. Bu Fifan is no longer a child your age. Some things need to be taken care of by himself. Although Guagua didn't think Brother Bu had done anything wrong, she didn't dare to disobey Su Yun's serious tone. Although she was only 7 years old, she knew very well that Su Yun did everything for her. If it weren't for her, Su Yun could have just let go of everything and ignored everything. There wouldn't be so many headaches and troubles. She immediately sat down obediently beside Ruan Qingshuang. Drink tea, drink tea. Children don't understand. The captains are all big shots. Don't mind them. Lin Gu smiled as he brewed tea and poured it for everyone. Hua Xiaolu found Lin Gu familiar, but he couldn't remember where he had seen him before. He said, You don't have to be so polite. Put the teapot on the table. Whoever wants to drink can turn around and pour. Don't be so polite. We're all on the same side. Brother Xiaolu, you don't have to be so polite with me. I'm the younger one. It's my duty to pour you a cup of tea. Lin Gu laughed. Perhaps these people in Dragon's Fury had forgotten his childhood in Dragon's Fury, but he remembered it very clearly. After he left Dragon's Fury, he went to the old man's island. He didn't interact with many people. In his childhood, other than knowing the people in Dragon's Fury, he only dealt with wild beasts and birds of prey. Hua Xiaolu was stunned. You know me? Lin Gu smiled but didn't say anything. He took the teapot and poured water for Hua Leiteng. After all, Hua Leiteng was the oldest of the 3 captains. Although they were all brothers, Hua Xiao's tradition was to respect the elder. Even if he was only a day older, he was still an elder brother. He's Pigeon, the one who quarreled with you when you were young. The one who was sent away by our old Wang. Su Yun exposed Lin Ji's identity. Hua Xiaolu was dumbfounded. F***ck. It's you. Lin Gu chuckled. That's right. Why? You didn't expect this, did you? I really didn't expect this. Hua Xiaolu shook his head in surprise. Damn. You were just a little kid back then, and now you're all grown up? I can't believe it. Qian Feng also stared at Lin Gu with his eyes wide open. Flabbergasted, he said, It really is you. Weren't you a little brat back then? Lin Gu said as he poured tea for Emperor Yuan Qing with a smile. He unconsciously bypassed Gong Jiuxiao, who hadn't poured tea yet, and was about to pour tea for Qian Feng and Hua Xiaolu. Of course, Gong Jiuxiao was aware of this. He reached out and grabbed the arm of Lin Gu, who had just bypassed him. Boy, in terms of age, I'm older than them. In terms of position, I'm also higher than them. Lin Gu didn't do it on purpose, but after being grabbed by Gong Jiuxiao's hand that contained inner force, he felt an unnatural sense of displeasure. Big brother, I know the order of pouring tea very well. I don't need you to remind me. But when I meet my 2 brothers who took care of me when I was young, can I also change the position first? Guanglong, don't worry so much. We're all brothers. Emperor Yuan Qing was worried that Gong Jiuxiao would hurt someone, so he tried to stop him. Gong Jiuxiao smiled disdainfully. Yes, We're all brothers. I don't care. I'm just a little thirsty. Let this little brother pour me a cup first. Lin Gu suddenly felt a force enter his arm, forcing him to pour tea for Gong Jiuxiao's teacup. Originally, Lin Gu planned to pour a cup of tea to resolve this small matter, but Gong Jiuxiao's overbearingness directly angered Lin Ji's bottom line. No matter what, he, Lin Gu, was here to serve him because of Su Yun. Otherwise, he, Gong Jiuxiao, was not related to him at all. Why should he pour tea? He, Lin Gu, was also a super expert. Not everyone had the qualifications to drink tea poured by him. Brother, you'd better let go of me. I don't have a sense of balance. If you grab me like this, I'm worried that the tea will splash on you. Lin Gu still had a smile on his face, but he had already made a move secretly. The teapot had unknowingly moved to Gong Jiuxiao's face, and as long as Lin Gu let go, a pot of hot tea would be poured on Gong Jiuxiao's legs. Gong Jiuxiao was of course shocked. This brat's strength was actually so strong. He really didn't expect such a young brat to be an expert, and an expert who wasn't weaker than him. Su Yun could obviously see that the two of them were secretly stirring up a storm. He opened his mouth and said, "Pigeon, pour the water for Captain Kwong." Gong Jiuxiao, who had suffered a loss, obviously didn't want to lose face in front of everyone. Using Su Yun's excuse, he first let go of his hand and calmly said in a magnanimous tone, "Actually, I'm not someone who cares about such small matters. I'm just thirsty." Seeing that the other party had retracted his strength, Lin Gu was no longer aggressive. As he poured tea for Gong Jiuxiao, he said, "Then I'll go get some mineral water for Captain Kwong now. Does Captain Kwong like to drink 28 filtered and refined Waha mineral water, or do you want nature's Porter Farmer's spring water to be a little sweeter?" Gong Jiuxiao shook his head. "Tea is fine. I'm not that picky." "Then please enjoy." Lin Ji's tea pouring technique was not bad. He filled Gong Jiuxiao's cup to the brim. As long as he used his hand to hold it, it would definitely burn his hand. However, Gong Jiuxiao couldn't lower his head and take a sip first, which would affect his image. Hua Xiaolu could see Lin Ji's intentions. When it was Lin Ji's turn to pour tea for him, he couldn't help but whisper, "You still have so many bad intentions." "The only one who knows me is Brother Xiaolu. If Brother Xiaolu didn't have so many bad intentions, how could he understand me?" Lin Gu also chuckled in a low voice. Gong Jiuxiao was unhappy in his heart. It was just the beginning, and Su Yun had already taken him down a notch. Although this feeling made Gong Jiuxiao very unhappy, Gong Jiuxiao could only grit his teeth and swallow this resentment. However, he was still unhappy that so many outsiders were involved in their secret mission. This was something that had never happened before. "Shadow Team, you're the person in charge of this mission. You should know what the higher-ups mean. We're doing a secret operation and a secret mission. We're different from the police. We don't need any military and civilian cooperation." Gong Jiuxiao kicked the ball to Hua Leitang. "You should know very well." Hua Leitang looked at Su Yun awkwardly. He also hoped that Su Yun would understand him. Su Yun knew that he needed to explain something. "Let me introduce you first. This is Ms. Ruan of Shinkai Hotel. All the food and accommodation were arranged by her. This is Lin Gu. When we were young, we were family. However, due to many reasons, he was sent to evil god Lu Xuanji's side by Deputy Wang Yi." Gong Jiuxiao was shocked. No wonder this kid's strength was so extraordinary. It turned out that he was trained by the evil god. He must be a fierce person like Xie Fei's in the assassin world. "This is Chou Yun. Everyone here should be familiar with her. She was by Feng Chensui's side back then. People in the underground world call her the Violent Fox Venerable," Su Yun said. "Everyone should have heard of this name before." Someone with a reputation in the underground world also worked by Su Yun's side. This was quite a shock to the people of the Dragon Brigade. Yanlong was Yanlong. He could get along well wherever he went. As for Qin Ju, I won't say much. You must all know her position very well. Su Yun smiled. "Finally, I will introduce my goddaughter, Guagua. She is also the most important person in this matter. Because the person you are going to investigate next is here for her. That's why I let her sit here. This is not an opportunity to train a child's temperament. I let her stay here because I want you to know everything. The people doing it are more than you know, so your secret mission is not a secret to us. Captain Kwang, now you understand, right? Gong Jiuxiao digested Su Yun's words and asked, "Who is the other party? Why do they want to kill your goddaughter?" As for the reason, I don't know. Su Yun didn't admit it because this reason was a secret he wanted to keep completely. Even if everyone present was from the Dragon Brigade and they were all trustworthy people, Su Yun still didn't want them to know. But you don't have to bother investigating who the other party is. I know who it is. Hua Leitang nodded. You've already helped us solve a big problem by knowing who the other party is. Su Yun, tell us who they are and we'll take care of the rest. I'm afraid you can't solve it. Su Yun's expression slowly became serious. Yuan Qingdi and the others looked at Su Yun seriously. They were very curious about who could give Su Yun such a headache. Don't keep us guessing, Gong Jiuxiao said. Gong Jiuxiao said, how do you know we can't solve it? The 12 elites of the Dragon Brigade are not as weak as you think. Yes, Brother Yun, don't worry. Qian Feng said confidently, our strength is not what it used to be. We have all received special training from Captain Wan Guangxiao for a month. Haha, we have improved a lot. Hua Leitang glanced at Qian Feng. Qinglong, you talk too much. Su Yun was quite surprised. That zombie monster was willing to train them personally? This captain, who no one knew of his strength, would definitely bring them a lot of improvement. How strong are you? Boss, at least we have all broken through the most difficult bottleneck. Hua Xiaolu's words shocked Su Yun. Breaking through the most difficult bottleneck meant that there were 12 super experts standing in front of him. Right now, the Dragon Fury team, the entire Dragon Brigade strength must have undergone a qualitative change. The captain was indeed the captain. His ability was truly frightening. Gong Jiuxiao was somewhat gloating. Su Yun had already left the Dragon Brigade and did not receive any pointers from Wan Leader. Otherwise, Su Yun's strength would have soared again. He said somewhat proudly, Su Yun, now you should tell me. What kind of person can make 12 super experts hard to deal with? Seeing Gong Jiuxiao's proud expression, Su Yun felt a little sad. In front of an Earth-profound realm expert, 12 super experts were not enough to be afraid. Moreover, the other party was not alone. Who knew how many super experts like Yang Yi and Huang Yu were around him? Hell King, Lang Chen. Su Yun finally spoke. As soon as he said this name, Gong Jiuxiao's proud expression disappeared. What kind of joke was this? Didn't such a terrifying guy leave Hua Xia long ago and live in seclusion on an island in Southeast Asia? How could he appear on the continent? Su Yun, you're not joking with us, are you? Emperor Yuan Qing's face also changed subtly, the level 9 Supreme Power Realm Warrior who is one level higher than our Master Wang Yi. Su Yun shook his head. To be exact, he is already an Earth-profound realm expert. When Lang Chen left the continent, he had already reached the 9th level of the Grandmaster Realm. Now, he has broken through. I didn't believe it before, but now I am very sure that he is an Earth-profound realm expert. He is not just one level higher than our Master, but one level higher. Chapter 702. Finally, Gong Jiuxiao broke the heavy atmosphere and said, I don't believe it. Su Yun, if Lang Chen wants to deal with you, and he has broken through to the profound world realm as you said, how can you still be sitting here talking to us? I can sit here and talk to you today because I didn't confront Lang Chen directly. If I did, maybe I won't have the chance to see you again. Shadow Team, I think it's better for us to investigate this matter ourselves. Gong Jiuxiao had lost his initial confidence. After all, the news that Su Yun gave them was really hard to accept. It was really out of his expectations. Hua Leitang didn't say anything. Qian Feng smiled bitterly and said, Wild Dragon, you don't really think that our boss would joke about this, do you? Gong Zhouxiao was silent. Although he had always been unconvinced by Su Yun, he was still very clear about what kind of person Su Yun was. Su Yun wasn't the kind of person who would casually joke around, let alone joke about such an important matter. No matter how much he denied this matter in his heart, he couldn't convince himself to believe it. Yuan Qingdi picked up the teacup in front of him and drank it in one gulp. This kind of thirsty feeling made him very uncomfortable. This matter was far more difficult than any of the missions he had been on. While everyone was silent, Liang Shan and little Dong Bei came to serve the dishes. This sumptuous medicinal cuisine was definitely something that the special forces of the Dragon Brigade couldn't eat on normal days. But now, they had lost their appetite. No food could break the tension in their hearts. Su Yun tried to ease the atmosphere and said, "No matter what, we have to fill our stomachs to have the strength to solve the problem. There's nothing that can stop the elites of the Divine Dragon Brigade, right? Of course it's easy." The more Gong Zhouxiao thought about it, the less confident he was. Of course, he wasn't the only one who had this feeling. He just had the nerve to say it. Let us face a profound world realm expert. Haha, 2 levels lower. I don't know what kind of joke God is playing. Even Wang Yi can't say he can solve this problem. How are we going to solve this? Everyone was feeling depressed. Qian Feng was still defending Su Yun. At least if we discuss it together, we might still have a chance. What chance? Ever since I came to this room, I haven't heard any good news. Gong Zhouxiao said helplessly, Su Yun, shouldn't you tell us some good news? I really can't find a reason to doubt your words. Lang Chen. Now, the whole world knows that he is one of the new 3 kings who replaced Mao Bo. Su Yun smiled slightly. Then I'll tell you some good news. Lang Chen can't replace Mao Bo as one of the new 3 emperors. This is all his wishful thinking. Although he has already reached the Earth Profound Realm, if he wants to truly become one of the 3 emperors, he must have the strength of the Sky Profound Realm. He's not so powerful that he can't be touched. But that doesn't mean we have the strength to contend with him. Emperor Yuan Qing said indifferently, I think we should report this matter to our superiors. Hua Leitang shook his head. Su Yun hasn't seen Lang Chen yet. We can't be sure that Lang Chen is really here. What do we have to report? We haven't done anything yet. Are we going to tell our superiors that our opponent is one of the current 7 kings, the Underworld King? Are we going to retreat? This is not the cowardice that Dragon Brigade's warriors should show. Su Yun interrupted them. I haven't finished my good news, but I'll say something first. Don't suspect that Lang Chen isn't here because I've already fought with Yang Yi and Huang Yu. At that time, someone was holding Lang Chen back. If it wasn't for that, I would have died long ago. Who has the strength to hold Lang Chen back? Since you have such an expert helping you, why don't you let him sit down and talk? Gong Zhouxiao questioned. Lin Ge was already unhappy with Gong Zhouxiao. He sneered, because he's already dead. These words made everyone fall into silence again. Even if this person was already dead, Su Yun could see the curiosity and surprise on everyone's faces. The person who helped me hold Lang Chen back is one of the 7 kings, the Jin King. Su Yun smiled. You won't be able to guess who he is. He's the infamous big boss Bao Tianxia, the guy who made his fortune by digging up people's ancestral graves. Bao Tianxia? Qian Feng couldn't believe it. What kind of ability does he have? Su Yun nodded. He hid it too deeply. He deceived everyone in the world because he wasn't as weak as he appeared to be. His strength was second only to Lang Chen. He also said that after his battle with Lang Chen, he broke through the bottleneck of the Earth Profound Realm. Unfortunately, he wasn't my friend. He was also my enemy, so I had no choice but to kill him. This series of shocking news made it hard for everyone to digest. Another Earth Profound Realm expert had appeared. This was too exaggerated. And Su Yun actually said that he killed an Earth Profound Realm expert? You. What kind of joke is this? Gong Zhouxiao's eyes widened. An Earth Profound Realm expert, you. How could? After his battle with Lang Chen, he suffered serious internal injuries, which gave me the chance. Su Yun, of course, if it wasn't for the help of our restaurant's little chef apprentice, I wouldn't have had the chance. Chen Feng hurriedly waved his hand. Wait. Boss, the amount of information you're talking about is too much. Chef apprentice? Help you? Kill an Earth profound realm expert? That's right, it's the little Northeast who just served the dishes. Su Yun nodded, but that's not the main point. The main point is that when Lang Chan injured Bao Tianxia, he must have also suffered serious injuries. Otherwise, he wouldn't have let Bao Tianxia live to find me. This is the only good news I have right now. That's right, this was indeed good news. If Bao Tianxia was injured to the point where a little chef apprentice could deal with him, then Lang Chen's injuries would definitely be strong enough. Su Yun knew what everyone was thinking: don't underestimate little Northeast. Although he doesn't have any mental cultivation, with his skills, I'm afraid that we won't be able to gain any advantage from him. He's not as simple as you think. Damn. Hua Xiaolu's eyes widened. He didn't cultivate his mental state? What kind of genius is he? He has the help of an expert. Su Yun, Tyrannosaurus, put away your curiosity. This isn't something you should be thinking about. I want you to know that the current Lang Chen might not be as strong as we think. If we attack him together, we still have a chance to deal with him. The only thing we need to worry about is how many powerful experts Lang Chen has by his side. Lin Gur added, first of all, we can exclude Yang Yi. He's injured. Other than him, we also know that there's Huang Yu and Pang Juanda. Ghost Dr. Pang Juanda? Yuan Qing Emperor was startled. Su Yun, I'm afraid things won't go so smoothly. Pang Juanda is a medical genius. He may be able to help Lang Chen recover his strength quickly. That guy's title of Ghost Doctor is not for nothing. He has a lot of unorthodox magical methods. He can even let people whose brains are still alive but whose bodies are disabled live in other people's bodies. Qin Wan was sweating. If Yuan Qing Emperor wasn't a special force captain of the Dragon Brigade, she would have thought that this guy had watched too many zombie movies. If he could do that, wouldn't this so-called ghost doctor be able to create something horrible like zombies? She felt disgusted just thinking about it. That's right. That's the key to the problem. Su Yun said, I don't doubt Ghost Dr. Pang Juanda's medical skills at all. In this world, perhaps only Pang Juanda can stand on equal footing with the vicious fairy doctor in terms of medical skills. So, we have to find them and kill them before Pang Juanda can cure Lang Chen. This was indeed a very good battle plan. But there were too many unknowns for them to face. However, Su Yun believed that with the quality of the special forces of the Dragon Brigade, there was still hope for them to find Lang Chen's hiding place. At least they were more reliable than the police, and at least they had the ability to deal with sudden dangers. This was the reason why Su Yun had hope in his heart when he heard that there were special forces members coming. Su Yun needed their help. There were some things that he couldn't do alone. At the same time, he also had the responsibility of protecting Guagua. He knew that he didn't have the energy to do so many things. He wasn't Naruto, who could use shadow clones. Su Yun is right. This is the only thing we can do now, Hua Leitang said. Hua Leitang finally opened his mouth. If we can solve this before it's too late, we'll be the victors. Shadow Team, this is not a wise decision. Gong Jiuxiao shook his head helplessly, but, this is the only thing we can do. Su Yun looked at Gong Jiuxiao and said lightly, thank you. You don't have to thank me. I didn't come on this mission for you. Gong Jiuxiao said disdainfully, I'm fighting for the honor of the Dragon Brigade. But I don't mind that you owe me a favor for this, really. Su Yun smiled helplessly, actually, I don't want to owe you a favor at all. I hate owing people favors the most. But since the higher-ups arranged for you to come, I have no choice. I can only owe you a favor. Mad Dragon, don't you care about your face? Chen Feng said disdainfully, it's your duty to do this. Our boss is willing to cooperate with the military because he's giving face. You're the one who owes him a favor. You still have the nerve to say that our boss owes you a favor? I'm laughing. Don't be so funny. Green Dragon, you better be careful with your words. Otherwise, I'll have plenty of chances to make you suffer. Gong Jiuxiao said through gritted teeth. Qian Feng wasn't someone who was afraid of trouble. I'm waiting. If you have the ability to survive, then we'll find a chance to spar when we get back to the headquarters. I don't believe that I can't take care of you. That's enough, Qian Feng. Stop talking. Su Yun said, let me toast you all. When this is over, I'll drink with you all. Shadow Team, this wine, what do we do? Hua Xiaolu laughed. Boss is toasting us. If we don't drink, won't it be a bit disrespectful? Hua Leitang was silent for a moment. Then he made a decision. He raised his teacup and said, before we complete the mission, we definitely can't drink. This is discipline. When the mission is over, we'll drink until we're drunk. Today, we'll use tea in place of wine. Qian Feng and Hua Xiaolu were especially disappointed, but they still obediently raised their teacups. Chapter 703. After dinner, Su Yun asked Lin Gu to take everyone back to their rooms to rest. However, he asked Han Zhan, who hadn't spoken at all during dinner, to stay. Su Yun could see that Han Zhan definitely had something on his mind. Although Han Zhan also wanted to chat with Su Yun for a while, due to the current situation, he had no choice but to ask Hua Leitang with his eyes. Hua Leitang nodded, indicating that he could stay. Only then did Han Zhan smile. Everyone except Black Dragon, come to my room in 5 minutes for an impromptu meeting. Hua Leitang said, don't be late. Qian Feng and Hua Xiaolu originally wanted to chat with Su Yun for a while, but after hearing Hua Leitang's words, they had no choice but to obediently follow. If they didn't give Hua Leitang face, they were afraid that the others wouldn't take him seriously. After all, they were all people of Dragon's Might and Dragon Zhan. If it wasn't for this mission gathering everyone together, they would definitely look down on each other. Hua Leitang could be the person in charge of this mission because Wang Yi valued the people of Dragon's Fury. They had to understand this principle. Only when they gave face to each other, outsiders wouldn't cause any trouble. Su Yun and Han Zhan stayed in the room. He signaled Yuan Qingshuang to take Guagua and the others back first. He wanted to talk to Han Zhan alone for a while. After everyone left, Su Yun opened his mouth. You have something on your mind? Boss, you know that I can't hide things. Even if I didn't say a word today, you could tell. Han Zhan shook his head helplessly. I don't have anything on my mind. I'm just worried about you. I know how serious this situation is, and I also know why. It's because of that girl, Guagua. Am I right? Previously, Green Ghost caused such a huge bloodbath in Suang because of this little girl. Now, the Nether King is involved, and it's also because of Guagua. I don't know what to say, but I feel that this child will really kill you. Su Yun smiled. Alright, I know you're fine. So you were worried about me? Ha ha ha, don't worry, I'm fine. So what if she kills me? She's my goddaughter. You can't expect me to lose her just like that, right? It's useless to say anything else. I, Su Yun, will protect the people I want to protect even if I have to die. This principle was taught to me by Yin Long at the risk of his life. It's not like you don't know. But boss, this is... Han Zhan reached out his hand and patted his forehead. Forget it, forget it. I won't say anything. I know that no matter how much I say, it will be useless. Even 10 cows won't be able to pull you back once you've decided on something. That's my brother. Su Yun patted Han Zhan's shoulder. Don't worry, I will cherish my life. Otherwise, I will let down Yin Long, who exchanged for a chance to live for us back then. Boss, no matter what, I hope you know that we will support you at all times. Han Zhan said, no matter if the enemy is Green Ghost, the Nether King, or someone even more terrifying, we will not back down. The brothers of Dragon's Fury all have cheap lives. They have nothing to worry about. Even if they die, they don't expect their relatives to burn incense at their graves. We're not afraid of anyone. They all had cheap lives. They had nothing to worry about. When Han Shuo said this, it wasn't that his heart didn't ache. Who wanted to be born without worries? Everyone yearned for a life with family and loved ones. However, such a simple life was an extravagant hope that they would never be able to obtain. It was because they had nothing to worry about that they could become the strongest warriors. You're wrong. No one has nothing to worry about. Su Yun smiled. Brothers are your family. Brothers are your worries. Just like how you worry about me, I also worry about you. Okay, you should also go back quickly. Now is the time when Ying Long needs you to give him face the most. Only when our own people set an example and obey his orders will the people of Long Wei and Long Zhan have respect for him. Otherwise, I know you understand everything. Even Qian Feng and Hua Xiaolu, those two smelly brats, know the truth. Han Zhan didn't say anything else. He nodded and prepared to leave. Before he left, Su Yun suddenly said, "Go back and tell Qian Feng and Hua Xiaolu, those two brats, that as members of the Dragon Brigade and the elites of the Dragon Fury team, they should understand the most basic principle. Obeying orders is your duty. No matter what Shadow Dragon decides, you must obey." When only Su Yun was left in the room, Bu Fifan and Chong walked over from the room next door. They had just finished eating and were waiting for the people in the room to leave. "Brother, with so many awesome people here, we don't have to be afraid of anything," Chong said. "With them here, those people definitely won't be our opponents. When are we going to fight back?" Su Yun finally relaxed. "I'm relieved that they're here. However, I'm not sure if we have enough strength to fight against them. That person is so awesome, but he doesn't have the ability." Bu Fifan was still very unhappy with Gong Zhouxiao. "He's so arrogant even if he doesn't have the ability. I thought he was very capable. If we really fight, I'm afraid he's not even worthy of carrying your shoes." Su Yun shook his head helplessly. He said to Bu Fifan, "I'm very disappointed that you think that way. Bu Fifan, if you say that, with his strength, you're not worthy of carrying his shoes either. Some things shouldn't be too egotistical. You're still young and there are many things you haven't experienced. You'll understand once you experience them." He's the egotistical one, right? Forget it, you're brothers who went through life and death together. Of course he's more important than me, and he's more useful than me now. How could Bu Fifan understand Su Yun's painstaking efforts? "I don't have any ability. I can't help you fight or kill. I'm just a burden. Now I'm here to cause trouble for you. Anyway, I'm useless. Why don't you chase me away?" "Brat, what are you talking about?" Chong pulled Bu Fifan to his side. At this time, Su Yun was already under a lot of pressure. Even if Bu Fifan was throwing a tantrum, he should have changed the time and place. Now was not the right time. Su Yun was not in the mood to comfort him. After all, Bu Fifan was a child. Su Yun would not really get angry with him. He just smiled helplessly. "I didn't say you're a burden. If you really have the ability to help me, I really don't need to ask them for help." Gong Zhouxiao's words may not be pleasant to hear, but he's liked to go against me ever since I met him. Now he can help me. That's enough. If you can't replace him, then don't talk bad about him to me. He can do what you can't. That's enough for me. Bu Fifan took a deep breath and looked at Su Yun seriously. "So, you think he's more useful than me? Am I right?" "That's the truth." Su Yun was just speaking the truth. "Okay. I got it." Bu Fifan did not have a big reaction. Instead, he calmed down a lot. "Old Su, I know that little Dong Bei is 100 times stronger than me. I just want to say that I can't help you because I don't have the opportunity. If I could be like you, I would definitely do a lot of things for you like Uncle Pigeon." Su Yun reached out and patted Bu Fifan's head. "Okay, this is not something you should think about. I'll take care of these things. You don't have to think so much. As long as you're safe, I'll take you to see your Aunt Yi in a few days." Yi Fala's performance in prison could be said to be very outstanding. With her help, not only did they crack the biggest drug network in Xinjiang, but they also caught many drug lords in the surrounding provinces based on what she knew. If it wasn't for the fact that her crimes were too serious, with her contributions, her crimes could have been reduced a lot. Considering that she was also a special talent, even though she was serving her sentence, her treatment was quite special. She didn't need to stay in prison and had her own 2-bedroom apartment. She had time for leisure and entertainment, as well as time to read books online. This was because the police could obtain a lot of important information and clues through her evidence collection. They could also track the drug lords through her to make it easier for them to catch them more accurately. Therefore, Yi Fala enjoyed special treatment. This was also something that Su Yun had just learned from Qin Wan. Recently, with Yi Fala's help, the police successfully caught a drug lord who was doing a big deal in Huaxia. It could be said that her merits made up for her mistakes. The leader could promise Yi Fala one thing. Yi Fala's request was very simple. It was to find time to meet Bu Fifan and Su Yun. Originally, this matter was going to happen in 2 days. However, it was delayed because Lang Chan killed so many people in the fish restaurant without any hesitation. Now, everyone's focus was on this matter. No one had the time to arrange Yi Fala's request. Therefore, Su Yun could only solve this matter as soon as possible so that he could bring Bu Fifan to meet Yi Fala as soon as possible. When Bu Fifan heard Su Yun's words, he was very surprised. "I can meet Auntie? Old Su, you're not lying to me, right? Isn't she?" "I will definitely fulfill my promise to you," Su Yun said. "Trust me." Bu Fifan didn't get excited. Instead, he frowned slightly. Su Yun's mind was filled with the matter of tracking down Lang Chen's hiding place. He didn't notice the expression on Bu Fifan's face at all. "Wait for a while. Wait for me to solve this matter." Su Yun patted Bu Fifan's shoulder again. "Go back and have a good sleep. You definitely didn't sleep well last night. Rest well. Who knows when you will come in handy." Bu Fifan shook his head. "Forget it. Even if Brother Liang of the Little Northeast comes in handy, I won't be of any use. I'm the same as Chong and the others. We're all useless." Chong was unhappy when he heard this. "Little brat, how are we useless? With us protecting Sister Shuang and the others, Brother Yun won't be so worried." "What do you know? How can you be a man? You look down on yourself." "Forget it. Aunt Shuang has Fox Supreme Cho Yun by her side. Do you really think old Su is relying on you guys?" Bull****. Bu Fifan didn't care at all. "Forget it. I'm going to sleep. I don't have anything to do anyway. I might as well sleep. It's good that I don't have to worry about so many things. That's the benefit of being useless." Clearly, the more Bu Fifan said this, the more dissatisfied he was with himself. At this moment, he wished that he had been trained in the Hunter Academy. He wished that he was skilled in martial arts and could kill anyone in his way. That way, he wouldn't have to look at Gong Jiuxiao's arrogant face. As long as he was strong enough, he wouldn't be afraid of Hades King Lang Chen. Even if the real Hades King came, he wouldn't be afraid. He would just kill him. That way, Su Yun wouldn't have to worry so much. "Brother Yun, this kid is a little down. You should take care of him." Chong watched Bu Fifan leave and said, "He's still in puberty. His mind is very strange." Su Yun nodded. "Yeah, this kid has been a little strange recently. I know what he's thinking. Sigh, I spoke too much that day. Forget it. You guys must keep an eye on him for me. Don't let him out of your sight. There's been too much going on these few days. I'm worried that he'll cause me trouble," Lu Feng said. "Brother Yun, Fifan might be a little stubborn, but he's not the kind of kid to look for trouble. He knows that you've been busy recently, so he won't cause you any trouble." Chapter 704. Hua Leitang gathered everyone in his room. As the commander of this mission, he had his responsibilities. He had to control the overall situation and come up with a battle plan. This time, their team was a little special because the higher-ups had only assigned a 4-man special forces team to investigate. That alone was enough to give them enough attention. Later, when they found out that the victims of the Qianxiang massacre were all experts, some of them were even super experts. Only then did the higher-ups realize that they had underestimated the culprit. In order to make sure everything went smoothly, the original 4-man team was changed into 3 4-man teams with 12 super experts. This was the first time that Hua Leiteng had seen the higher-ups deploy so many people at the same time for a vicious local case. When he first led the team on this mission, he was more or less dismissive. He was overconfident and thought that nothing could stop him. Only now did he realize how arrogant he had been. When Hua Leiteng heard from Su Yun that their opponent was the underworld king, Lang Chen, all of his confidence crumbled. He finally understood that the higher-ups would not make meaningless arrangements, nor would they use cannons to kill mosquitoes. Even if the 12 of them worked together, it was difficult to guarantee that they could complete the mission perfectly. Their opponent was much more difficult to deal with than he had imagined. What do you all think? I want to hear it. Hua Leiteng said, things are more complicated than we thought. Su Yun is a member of the Dragon Fury team, so I trust him. But at the same time, I know that he has left the Dragon Brigade, so he is also someone we should protect. We have the obligation to do so. Chen Feng said bluntly, let me say something first. First, we have to ensure the safety of the people. Our boss has said that Lang Chen wants the little girl from the Feng family. No matter what, we have to ensure her safety first. I will follow your orders for the rest. That's right. If we can't ensure the safety of the people, what we do will be meaningless. Yuan Qing Emperor said calmly, I agree with Azure Dragon's idea. Gong Jiuxiao smiled, then do we have to assign a team to protect the people? Shadow Dragon, you have to think this through. Su Yun made it very clear that our opponent is Lang Chen. Even the 12 of us might not be able to take him down, and you still want to split up? Hua Xiaolu was a little angry. Then what do you want to do? Ignore the little girl in danger? Just to ensure our own safety? Ma Tengfei was a member of Long Wei, so it was inevitable that he would support Gong Jiuxiao. If we can't even protect ourselves, how can we guarantee the safety of that little girl? I think we have to unite all our forces and ensure that we have the strongest fighting strength at all times. Only then can we complete the mission. If we can't even protect that little girl, how are we supposed to complete the mission? Chen Feng said disdainfully, I'm sorry, but let me say something. I think we need reinforcements for this matter, Xingzhe said. The higher-ups might not know that our opponent is so strong. Hearing Long Zhan's words, Heavenly Emperor Yuan Qing's expression became unsightly. Song Long, we haven't even started yet. Why are you asking for reinforcements? This is an insult to all of us. I believe that the higher-ups won't underestimate the danger we face. Arranging for us to come here means that we have enough fighting strength to complete the mission. If it was so simple that we didn't need to spend any effort to complete it, then there would be no need for us to come here at all. We were established to complete the impossible mission. The Dragon Brigade raised us for 1,000 days just to wait for such a moment. Feilong, you're right. Gong Jiuxiao said, we were indeed born for such a moment. We exist to deal with difficulties. But you know very well that we can only guarantee the strongest fighting strength when we gather together. We can't spare any extra strength to protect others. Hua Leiteng said indifferently, then what do you mean? You want us to ignore the little girl who is in danger here? I didn't say that. Gong Jiuxiao said, while ensuring our strength, we'll do what we can. But now we really don't have the capital to divide our strength. If we can't even protect a little girl, what we do is meaningless. Chen Feng said bluntly, I don't agree. I think we must ensure the safety of the people here before we solve the problem. Gong Jiuxiao stared at Chen Feng and said, do you think we need to protect here? That little girl has plenty of people protecting her. Su Yun, Lin Gu, Chou Yan. These people are not weaker than us, right? With your former boss here, what do you have to worry about? If you want to stay in the hotel because you're afraid of Lang Chen, I have nothing to say. Coward. Do you know how to talk? Mad Dragon, what do you mean? Chen Feng slammed the table and stood up. Calm down, everyone, Hua Leiteng said sternly. He didn't want his own people to lose control first. Each of us has our own thoughts. Everyone thinks that what we did was right, but we have to find a common ground to solve this problem. This is the reason why I asked you to come to my room. I didn't ask you to bicker. Gong Jiuxiao spread his hands and said, "You're the person in charge. You're the highest commander. You make the decision. Whatever you say, we'll do it. Shadow Dragon, the higher-ups put you in charge because you're more rational. I think you know what to do." Hua Leiteng fell into silence. This was where he was at a loss. He had always been decisive, but this time, he didn't dare to make a decision easily. One was to weaken his own power to protect the little girl from the Feng family. The other was to protect his own power without thinking too much. No matter what choice he made, he couldn't feel at ease. Just as Hua Leiteng was hesitating, Han Zhan pushed the door open and entered. He sat beside Hua Leiteng. As his partner, he knew the man beside him best. "You're the commander. No matter what decision you make, we'll obey. This is our duty." "Black Dragon, what are you talking about?" Chen Feng glared at Han Zhan. "There's only one right choice for him." Han Zhan didn't avoid Chen Feng's gaze. "Green Dragon, you only need to obey orders. The higher-ups put Shadow Dragon in charge because they believe that he'll make the right decision at any time. Not because they believe in you. Shadow Dragon is more rational than any of us. This is something that no one can deny. I know that you have feelings in it, and so do I. But I do. But I know that our duty is to obey orders. You have to understand." Chen Feng said word by word, "That's right. My duty is to obey orders, but I'll never obey wrong orders. There's no right or wrong order." Han Zhan also said tit for tat. Tang Zhao, who was sitting beside Gong Jiuxiao, mocked in a low voice, "I really don't know what the higher-ups are thinking. They actually let a guy who can't even handle his own people be our commander. Humph, this will only harm us." Han Zhan's cold gaze swept over Tang Zhao. "Wind Dragon, if you don't want to be beaten, then watch your mouth. I'll only warn you once. Next time, I'll teach you a lesson with my fists." "Are you threatening me?" Tang Zhao said disapprovingly. "I'm just telling the truth." Shadow Dragon asked everyone to speak their minds. "This is what I'm thinking right now. I don't think he's suitable to be a leader. He doesn't even have the basic decisiveness. How can we obey orders?" Everyone fell silent. Even Hua Leiteng had to admit this point. Finally, after a moment of silence, Hua Leiteng said, "Does anyone else have anything to say?" Emperor Yuan Qing said calmly, "I think that we need to ensure our overall combat strength. Only then can we resolve the problem quickly. Only by resolving the problem can we protect the people we need to protect. As long as Lang Chen is in Shenzhong City, he's not just a threat to the little girl from the Feng family. He's a threat to all the people of Shenzhong City. We can't ignore the dangers of others just because of one person's safety. Everyone's strength can't be divided. We have to concentrate." Chen Feng clenched his fists so tightly that they were about to explode. Hua Xiaolu couldn't accept this result either. However, their gazes were all focused on Hua Leiteng. It didn't matter what the others said as long as Hua Leiteng didn't make the same choice as them. "I've decided. From tomorrow onwards, we'll concentrate all our forces and search for Lang Chen." Hua Leiteng finally slammed the table. Hua Xiaolu sucked in a cold breath. "Do you know what you're saying?" "Shadow Dragon. You can't make such a decision. If it weren't for the mission, I would have F*King blown your head off already." Chen Feng became even more agitated. Fortunately, Han Zhan stopped him in time. Otherwise, he would have already pounced on Hua Leiteng and punched him. This wasn't the answer they wanted. "Obey orders." Han Zhan roared as he restrained Chen Feng. Chen Feng lost control of his emotions. "I'm here to listen to this bullshit because I'm obeying orders. Shadow Dragon, I'm obeying you because I'm giving you face. I'm doing it so that others can obey you. But look at what you've done. You're a piece of trash. You've always wanted to prove that you can do better than our boss. Let me tell you now, you're not even King worthy of being compared to him. You're a piece of trash. Han Zhan pressed Qian Feng directly against the wall and shouted at Hua Xiaolu, "Come over and help hold him down." Although Hua Xiaolu was extremely unwilling, he still went forward to help Han Zhan restrain Qian Feng. No matter what, the team couldn't become a pile of loose sand. If there were only people from the Dragon Fury team present, he would have helped Qian Feng teach Hua Leitang a lesson. Terex. Touch me again if you dare. Qian Feng said angrily, "Whose side are you on? Do you have a problem with them too? You're throwing a little girl we should be protecting to the side to do something. Is this what our boss taught you?" Hua Xiaolu forced himself not to listen to Qian Feng's words. He was afraid that if he listened too much, he would lose control of himself. Black Dragon. King, let go of me. I usually respect you because I think you're a man. I think you're the same type of person as our boss. Qian Feng roared, "But you've disappointed me too much." Han Zhan used all his strength to restrain Qian Feng. Azure Dragon, calm down. Calm down. Boss wants me to tell you something. He wants me to tell you that obeying orders is the duty of a soldier. If you're still a member of the Dragon Brigade, or a member of the Dragon Fury team, you should obey orders. Chapter 705. Hua Leitang suddenly pulled out a gun from his waist and stepped forward to point it at Qian Feng's forehead. "I dare you to insult the Dragon Brigade and the Dragon Fury team one more time. Do you believe that I won't shoot you? Shoot me. I don't King like you. Shoot me. Coward. Coward. Bastard." All the repressed emotions in Qian Feng's heart exploded. Of course, these repressed emotions were also deeply apprehensive of Lang Chen. If it weren't for the fact that he was apprehensive of Lang Chen's strength, he wouldn't have such a big reaction. Azure Dragon, calm down. No one's decision is wrong. It's just that we have different standpoints. But our goal is the same. Han Zhan was still trying to control Qian Feng's emotions. "We all hope that everything will be safe and smooth. Every decision is to solve the problem. No one is a coward and no one will run away. Do you understand? You have to obey orders." Qian Feng laughed coldly. "Obey orders? That's right. That's my duty. But I will never obey someone who points a gun at my brother's head. Threatening me? I'm the same as you guys. Every day in the Dragon Brigade, I'm prepared to die for the country. Death is nothing to me. Trying to scare me? Forcing me to submit? Not a chance. No one wants to force you." Han Zhan's brain was about to explode. He tried to control Qian Feng, who had lost control, while trying to persuade Hua Leitang. "Captain, put the gun down." Yuan Qingdi saw that the situation was getting out of hand and quickly tried to persuade Hua Leitang. "Shadow Team, no matter what, put the gun down first. Qian Feng is just being a little impulsive. Wait for him to calm down. This won't solve the problem." "I'm not being impulsive." Qian Feng was determined to make things difficult for everyone. "You all think that way. You're all cowards. Hua Leitang, I'm telling you, if you don't shoot, then pray that he keeps holding me down. Once I'm released, the first person he kills will be you." When Hua Xiaolu heard Qian Feng's anger, he had no choice but to quickly remove the gun from Qian Feng. He supported Qian Feng in his heart, but he couldn't be as crazy as Qian Feng. He maintained his rationality. "Hua Xiaolu, you're also a fucking bastard." Qian Feng saw that Hua Xiaolu had disarmed him and glared at him coldly. "I treated you as my brother for more than 10 years, and this is how you treat me. Good. You and them are all jackals of the same tribe. Think you, obsessed." Hua Xiaolu was stunned. He began to doubt whether his beliefs were wrong. "Anger can't solve anything." Han Zhan interrupted Qian Feng. He didn't want Hua Xiaolu to be affected by Qian Feng and become the second person to lose control. Even if Su Yun was here, he would still ask you to follow his orders. Qian Feng, look at me. Look into my eyes. Tell me you'll calm down. Calm down. Let's sit down and talk. Let's talk. You've already decided. What's there to talk about? Qian Feng said, he's going to shoot me. Why should I calm down? Hua Leitang finally put away his gun. He said to Han Zhan calmly, Black Dragon, let him go. He's not feeling well. He wants to vent. If venting makes him feel better, then let him vent on me. But let him go. This is an order. Hua Leitang's eyes were firm. Because Qian Feng's gun had been taken away by Hua Xiaolu, Han Zhan tried to loosen his grip on Qian Feng. Gong Jiuxiao and the Dragon's Prestige Special Forces watched the internal conflict without saying a word. No one knew what they were thinking. The Dragon's Prestige Special Forces were also very dull. Other than the captain, Yuan Qingdi, no one else knew how to intervene. Finally, Han Zhan slowly let go of Qian Feng. Calm down. Calm down. When Han Zhan's hands completely let go of Qian Feng suddenly jumped up and punched Hua Leitang's face. Although Qian Feng's punch was sudden, with Hua Leitang's strength, even if he couldn't dodge it, he could still block it. However, Hua Leitang didn't. He let Qian Feng's heavy punch hit him without any intention of dodging. Are you crazy? Han Zhan hugged Qian Feng from behind again. I told you to calm down. Qian Feng's anger was released along with the punch just now. He didn't understand why Hua Leitang didn't dodge, but he wouldn't forgive Hua Leitang because of this. You know you're asking for a beating? Green Dragon, I know you're depressed. If you can vent your irrationality on me, then calm down and talk to me. I'm willing to accept it. Hua Leitang said, Han Zhan, let him go. Let him do it. He can only solve the problem by venting. Han Zhan couldn't do anything at all. He really hoped that Su Yun could come over and take control of the situation now. Qian Feng struggled to break free from Han Zhan's arms. He walked in front of Qian Feng with a cold gaze. The tip of his nose was about to touch Hua Leitang's, but this time, Qian Feng didn't make a move. His voice was low and powerful. Hua, I'm not playing anymore. From now on, I'm not a member of Dragon's Fury, nor am I a member of the Dragon Brigade. I quit. This way, I won't have to follow your Bull*T orders. What do you want? Hua Leitang asked. From now on, I'm Qian Feng. Qian Feng said, You've taken the gun. Do you still want the clothes? If you still want them, I'll go out and borrow a set of clothes now and return them to the army. From now on, I have nothing to do with you anymore. Han Zhan pushed Qian Feng fiercely. When are you going to stop messing around? Can't you calm down a little? Do you think the Dragon Brigade is a place where you can leave as you wish? Qian Feng turned back expressionlessly and said, That's right. I know the Dragon Brigade isn't a place where I can leave as I wish, but I'm going to leave now. If you want to stop me, there's only one way, and that is to shoot me dead. Qian Feng was definitely not joking. Hua Xiaolu knew him the best. He knew that Qian Feng was serious. Are you crazy? You're the crazy ones. Even if it was his little brother who was so close to him, Qian Feng didn't give him any face. I won't be polite to anyone who dares to stop me. You can either shoot me dead or let me go. It's your choice. After that, Qian Feng walked to the door without looking back. Hua Leitang was completely caught in a dilemma. Gong Jiuxiao frowned. The consequences of leaving the team without permission are very serious. Green Dragon, don't force us. Shoot me if you dare. Qian Feng still didn't look back. Shadow Dragon. Gong Jiuxiao shouted. Hua Leitang punched the wall heavily and let Qian Feng walk out of the room. Han Zhan gave Hua Xiaolu a look. Hua Xiaolu immediately chased after him. However, when he reached the door, Qian Feng turned around and kicked him heavily to the ground. The blood at the corner of Hua Xiaolu's mouth was enough to prove that this guy didn't show any mercy. Even so, Hua Xiaolu couldn't give up on his brother who had gone through life and death with him. He got up and chased out of the room again. However, he saw Su Yun blocking Chen Feng's way in the corridor. Phew! Hua Xiaolu finally let out a sigh of relief. The only person who could make Chen Feng calm down now was probably Su Yun. Boss. Chen Feng looked a little dazed when he saw Su Yun. Although he didn't want to believe it, he had to admit that his actions were absolutely wrong. Slap. Su Yun raised his hand and slapped Chen Feng, leaving 5 deep fingerprints on his face. Do you know what you're doing? Do you know who you are? Are you still yourself? I don't want to admit that the Special Forces members under me are like you. Chen Feng didn't say anything. He silently endured all of Su Yun's accusations. In this world, the only person who could make him so calm was probably Su Yun. Boss, I don't remember how many times you've saved me. You gave me my life. You can do whatever you want with me. After a moment of silence, Chen Feng finally opened his mouth. You taught me that no matter what danger there is, protecting the interests of the people is our top priority. Now you're the people. The little girl from the Feng family is the people. However, the people in the room ignored you in order to protect their own combat power. I can't obey this order. If there's no solution, I can only quit. Su Yun said coldly, don't find excuses for yourself. No reason can be a reason to disobey a military order. Yinglong has his reasons. He's your captain, your commander. You have to obey his orders. Chen Feng looked at Su Yun with suspicion. Even if he doesn't care about your safety, I still have to obey? Let's go and have a drink with me. Su Yun stepped forward and put his arm around Chen Feng's neck. He directly brought him to the elevator. Su Yun hadn't been to the bar on the top floor of Xingkai for a long time. Hua Xiaolu returned to the room. Hua Leitang's head was buried deep in his knees. No one knew what he was thinking. Seeing that only Hua Xiaolu came back, Han Zhan frowned. Where's Green Dragon? Boss took him away. Hua Xiaolu said, no one can persuade him now. Only Boss can control his emotions. I believe he'll calm down. We need to give him time. Shadow Team, I know that you have a reason for every decision you make. You don't have to doubt your leadership ability. Hua Xiaolu was very clear about the current situation. If they couldn't let Hua Leitang establish his authority, this team would be in trouble. At least now he could feel that the people from Dragon Fury Team and Dragon Fury Team had begun to doubt Hua Leitang's leadership ability. After all, the people who opposed him just now were their own people from Dragon Fury Team. Han Zhan patted Hua Xiaolu's shoulder. He knew that this kid was like him. Although he didn't agree with Hua Leitang's decision, he still forced himself to obey. Everything was for the sake of the overall situation. Since the higher-ups chose to believe in Hua Leitang's leadership and judgment, they had to believe in him without hesitation. This was a soldier. This was their duty. Obeying orders was definitely not just a saying. It was their belief. They had to give up everything for their beliefs. Any order, even if their lives were threatened, they had to be resolutely obeyed. Steel-like discipline wasn't innate for no reason. It was established through the actions of generations of soldiers. No one could destroy it. Even if he had enough reasons to doubt, he couldn't do that. Chapter 706. Su Yun brought Chen Feng to the bar on the top floor of Xingkai Hotel. The last time they drank here was with Yi Fala. Su Yun needed to deal with Lung Chen's threat as soon as possible and then take Bu Fifan to see Fala. Su Yun had already realized that something was wrong with Bu Fifan. He also knew what Bu Fifan wanted to do, so he needed Yi Fala to interrupt Bu Fifan's terrifying thoughts. If you have anything to say, finish this glass first. Su Yun saw Chen Feng's lips tremble slightly. He raised his glass and said, "You need to calm down, but I don't have a good way to calm you down. Don't worry, drink. I know how much you can drink. You even violated the discipline of the order, so you shouldn't mind making another mistake of drinking during a mission. Chen Feng admitted that at this moment, he felt much more relaxed. He raised his glass and lightly touched it with Su Yun's. Then, he tilted his head back and drank the entire glass of royal salute. The spiciness passed through his intestines, and Chen Feng gradually regained his sense of existence. He really did lose control just now. Do you not know how to say what you wanted to say just now? Su Yun smiled and poured Chen Feng another glass. I'll say it for you. You want to say that everything you did was to ensure Guagua's safety. You think that Shadow Dragon's decision was a big mistake because he didn't put Guagua's safety first. Chen Feng nodded. Boss, I definitely didn't do this because Guagua is your goddaughter. No matter who it is, even if it's someone who has nothing to do with you, I can't let Shadow Dragon put them in danger and ignore them. Su Yun shook his head. You're wrong. You misunderstood Shadow Dragon. We all know what kind of person he is. Master made him the leader of the Dragon Fury team after I left. This is the best affirmation for him. He's not the kind of person who would throw the interests of the people to the back of his mind. He is different from Gong Zhouxiao. Chen Feng didn't understand why Su Yun said that. He could only pick up his glass and continue drinking. If it was the other normal people who were in danger today, I believe he would not have made such a decision. He would have sacrificed his own team to protect the interests of the people. Su Yun said, but it's different this time, because I'm the one who's in trouble. He didn't sacrifice your team's strength because he trusted me. Do you understand? But, Su Yun waved his hand, motioning for Chen Feng to let him finish. He believes that I have the ability to protect him. He believes that I can share his burden. Even though I'm no longer a member of the Dragon Fury team, he still treats me as a brother that he can trust. We're all brothers who have gone through life and death together. He believes in me, so I have to believe in him too. Chen Feng was silent. He didn't say anything else. Perhaps he was wrong. I hope you can believe in him as much as you believe in me. Su Yun said, when I returned to the army last time, you promised me that you would support Dragon Fury. Why did you change your mind this time? Do you know why? Because you think that I'm here. You think that as long as I'm here, I should be the one giving orders. When Su Yun pointed this out, Chen Feng realized that he really thought so in his heart. It was just that he didn't realize it himself. Don't continue to do stupid things. Su Yun said, I can tell you with certainty that you left the team without permission today. Dragon Fury has the right to kill you directly. But he didn't do so because he chose to believe in me. He believes that I won't let things continue to get out of control. He believes that I can make you understand what you should do. Isn't such a person worthy of your trust? Chen Feng gulped down another mouthful of wine. Su Yun's words were like sharp knives stabbing into his heart. Your mistakes can be made up for. Try to believe in Dragon Fury's decisions. He's much more mature than you. He considers things more thoroughly than you. Even T-Rex understands this. Why can't you understand it? Su Yun said, now is the time when Dragon Fury needs prestige. Without prestige, he can't lead your team. But you destroyed his prestige at the most critical time. I was wrong. Chen Feng finally lowered his head and admitted it. Su Yun raised his wine glass and took a sip. Everyone makes mistakes. What we need to do is to make sure that when we realize our mistakes, we immediately make up for them. Chen Feng's expression was very helpless. What should I do? Boss, I'll listen to you. What do you want me to do? What you need to do now is not listen to me, but listen to your captain, Hua Leiting. Su Yun said, go back and tell him that his decision is correct. Chen Feng fell silent. After drinking 2 glasses of wine in a row, the entire bottle of Royal Salute was emptied. Su Yun had no intention of opening another bottle. Now wasn't the time to let Chen Feng drink too much. Alcohol wasn't good. Drinking too much could make people lose their minds. But sometimes, it could also refresh the mind of someone who had lost their rationality. Su Yun didn't say anything else. He just quietly looked at Chen Feng, waiting for him to make his choice. I know what I should do. Chen Feng stood up and left the top-floor lounge of Xing Kai Hotel. Su Yun didn't go downstairs with him. He stood on the top floor and looked down at the entire Shenzhen. Where was Lang Chen hiding in such a big city? Although the night view of the city was beautiful, Su Yun didn't have the leisure to enjoy the night view as long as the threat of Lang Chen didn't disappear. Chen Feng returned to Hua Leitang's room. Everyone was still there because Hua Leitang hadn't said that the meeting was over. Although some people were unhappy with Hua Leitang, they didn't leave because Gong Zhouxiao and Emperor Yuan Qing still had to give Hua Leitang some face. When Chen Feng stepped into the room again, it more or less caused everyone to be surprised. Was there still going to be a show? The big stone in Hua Xiaolu's heart finally settled. Chen Feng's return meant that boss had taken care of it. Phew, luckily Su Yun stopped it in time. Otherwise, who knew how much worse things would have become? Shadow Squad. Chen Feng came in front of Hua Leitang. I was too impulsive just now. If you want to punish me, I hope that you can wait until I return to the army. Right now, I just want to finish this mission as soon as possible. I'm very sorry for what happened just now. I know that I was wrong. I'll accept any punishment. Hua Leitang suddenly stood up and hugged Chen Feng. At this moment, he suddenly felt that prestige wasn't important anymore. What was important was that he didn't lose a brother who went through life and death with him. Han Zhan let out a long sigh. He didn't dare to imagine what would have happened if this matter hadn't been resolved. It's not your fault. It's mine. Hua Leitang whispered to Chen Feng. But I don't have a choice. I trust Su Yun, so I hope that we don't betray his trust. I have to grab hold of all the power I can gather. This is the only hope we have to deal with Lang Chen. Gong Zhouxiao was a little bored. The farce had ended in such a way. Shadow Squad, if you two brothers want to be unreasonable, can we go back now? Before Hua Leitang could say anything, Han Zhan said, no one can leave without orders. TSH. Brother Black Dragon, are you joking with me? Do you still need orders? It's obvious that there's nothing left. Gong Zhouxiao smiled disdainfully. Shadow Squad's prestige hasn't been lost because of this. That's enough. Why? Do we have to show our loyalty? I don't know about you guys, but I think that my men and I need to rest. Han Zhan knew that Chen Feng's farce would cause trouble. Yuan Qingdi also stood up and said, Shadow Squad, we do need to rest. We traveled such a long way to Xinjiang, and our opponent is Lang Chen. If we don't get enough rest, I'm afraid that we... Dragon Brigade's people aren't that delicate, right? At least we Dragon's Fury's people aren't that delicate, Hua Xiaolu muttered to himself. Not sleeping for 3 or 5 days counts. Phew, so the Dragon Brigade has such delicate special forces. Now was the time for Hua Leitang to establish his prestige. Chen Feng had to pick up the prestige he had lost. Shadow Squad, I don't know what reason we have to sleep in the face of such great danger. Actually, the first thing we should do when we arrive in Xinjiang is not to stay in a hotel, but to go to the scene directly. This is my mistake, but I need to correct it immediately, Hua Leitang said. Hua Leitang said, everyone has one. Get ready to set off now. Let's check out Tianxiong Fish Restaurant first. Don't miss any clues. No one is allowed to act on their own. We must ensure our team's combat ability. After we enter Xinjiang, we have to be in a constant state of preparation and be ready to fight at any time. Shadow Squad, you don't care about this night, right? Gong Zhouxiao asked. Your former captain offered such good conditions. Wouldn't we be letting him down if we didn't take it? Hua Leitang's gaze was firm. We came to Xinjiang for a mission, not to enjoy ourselves. Leave now, this is an order. Chen Feng, who had disobeyed the order just now, had come back to admit his mistake. Of course, no one would try to disobey the order now. Brothers, get ready to work. We don't have the life to enjoy ourselves in this line of work. Although Gong Zhouxiao complained, his feet did not slow down at all. Su Yun watched from the rooftop. When he saw Hua Leitang leading the team out of the hotel, he was relieved. His prestige was still there, and his words still held weight. He could ensure that the entire team could carry out their mission. As long as they could carry out their mission, anything was possible. The special forces had left, so he should go down to ensure the safety of the others. When Su Yun went downstairs to the guest room to say goodnight to everyone, he felt that something was wrong. It was as if something was missing. Finally, when he saw Guagua, he realized that Bufifan was missing. After asking around, he realized that no one had seen him. Lin Gu rushed into Bufifan's room, but only saw a note left on the bed. He picked up the note and glanced at it. His expression changed instantly. "Brother, that kid left this." A strong sense of foreboding arose in Su Yun's heart. He knew that what he had been worried about had finally happened, but he didn't dare to believe that it would happen so quickly. He felt that even if Bufifan wanted to leave, he would at least wait until he met with Yifala before leaving. The handwriting on the note was very clear. "Old Su, I'm sorry. Please forgive me for leaving without saying goodbye. First of all, I'm not leaving because I'm afraid of death. I want to become stronger and not be a burden anymore. I'm going to find the place I need. Please believe that when I come back, I'll be strong. Guagua, when I'm not around, you must listen to Auntie Shuang. I'll bring you a gift when I come back. Also, I want to thank everyone for taking care of me. Thank you sincerely. I left a bank card in the bedside drawer. There's 38 million in cash. Old Su, take the money and buy Dan Jiahao a new house for his wedding. Oh, and little Dong Bei. He saved our lives. I want to repay him by buying him a house. This is all I can do. Please allow me to say sorry again. Goodbye." Chapter 707. Su Yun's fingers trembled slightly, and he crumpled the note into a ball. The problem he had long realized had finally happened. Yifala trusted him, and that was why he had entrusted Bufifan to him. But now he had betrayed the trust of others. This feeling was really bad. At this moment, Su Yun's depression was indescribable. "I'll go out and look for him. Maybe he hasn't gone far. Maybe I can catch up with him." Chong could only do his best to make up for what had happened. Su Yun had emphasized to them that they should keep an eye on Bufifan. But now, Bufifan had left quietly. This responsibility was on him. Lin Gu frowned. "I'll go look for him." He left with a premeditated plan, so he wouldn't leave a trail for others to follow. "You guys are wasting time. I'll try my luck. Maybe I can find him." Su Yun finally spoke. "Pigeon, you can't leave the hotel casually. Everyone here needs protection. The special forces have already gone all out to track down Lang Chen's whereabouts. It's because we are here that they don't have to worry. If you leave, you will put everyone here in danger." "Yes, let's go. At least there's always hope," Dan Hongning said. "Brother Yun, don't worry. We'll do our best." Lu Feng nodded. "Yes, at least there's still hope if we go. No matter what, Bufifan is just a child. He can't escape from those places. The bus station, the high-speed rail station, and the airport. If we split up and look for him, there's definitely hope." "Okay, I'll go to the bus station. The bus station has a flow of water. It's more flexible and has more choices. Maybe he'll choose there." Kong Zhong took out the car key from his pocket. "He hasn't left for long. If we drive faster, there's still a lot of hope." Dan Hongning nodded. "Then I'll go to the airport. He's playing big this time. He'll definitely find a place far away. The airport is also very likely. Then I'll go to the high-speed rail station. The high-speed rail is also very flexible. It can go up north or down south. It's also very fast. It's the best choice of transportation to leave Shenzhen." After Lu Feng finished speaking, he immediately prepared to leave. There were many things that they couldn't help with, so when it came to things that they could do, they would definitely do their best. I'll go take a look nearby. Maybe he's just on a whim and hasn't gone too far, Dan Jiahao said. I'll go with you. Liang Shan also felt that it was necessary to look around nearby. Little Dong Bei, do you want to come with me? Bai Liang nodded. Of course. I'm fast, so I'll be in charge of the east and south. I'm familiar with both sides. I'll leave the west and north to you guys. Everyone left the hotel one after another and chased in the direction they thought was right. At this time, Qin Wan finally said, Actually, I can go to the bureau to mobilize the police force to investigate and use the fastest speed to block the airport, the station and other places. Su Yun, I want to ask for your opinion. If possible, I will call the bureau now. No need. Su Yun interrupted Qin Wan, Even if I were to report him missing, it would still take 48 hours. Besides, I'm afraid the police don't have the energy to deal with this kind of thing right now. I don't want to embarrass you in the police station. Moreover, he wasn't missing. He was the one who wanted to leave. Whether it's the station or the airport, I believe they won't be able to find him. Based on my understanding of Bu Fifan, if he wants to leave, he will use an unconventional method that we can't think of. If he wants to leave, he has made a very serious decision. No one can stop him. Even if we can find him, he will still leave again. Ruan Qingshuang shook her head in disbelief. Are we just going to ignore him? He has always been a man. A man will always make his own decisions. Su Yun said, I know where he wants to go after leaving. Although I don't know if his choice is right or not, and I know that if he really goes to that place, it will be very dangerous, I still respect his choice. I respect a man's choice. Guagua opened her mouth in surprise. Daddy, you know where little brother Bu wants to go? Yes. Su Yun nodded. He wants to become stronger, strong enough to protect you. That's why he chose to leave temporarily. Don't tell me he wants to go to the hunter school? Cho Yun frowned. Su Yun, his decision is definitely wrong. That place is not for ordinary people. Many experts who have just stepped into the door have died because they couldn't handle the hellish training there. He's just a kid who wants to die. Su Yun naturally understood what Cho Yun was saying. He knew what kind of place the hunter school was. So what? That's the path he chose. Cho Yun, he wants to become someone like us, someone who has the ability to protect everyone. You, me and Dove, all of us are people who have narrowly escaped death. Lin Gu nodded. Maybe that kid's choice is right. A man needs to be trained. Daddy, little brother Bu won't not come back, right? Guagua's small hands nervously grabbed onto her clothes. Although she didn't know what the hunter school was, she could still read the worry in Su Yun's heart from the serious expressions of the adults. Su Yun gently hugged Guagua. Do you think little brother Bu is a real man? Is he a real man? Yes, he's the boss in the school. Even the seniors don't dare to provoke him. Guagua said. As long as someone bullies the weak, he'll stand up and protect them. I think he's a real man. Su Yun smiled. Then let Daddy tell you. A real man will keep his word. He said he'll come back, so he'll definitely come back to find us. Yes, he'll definitely come back. Guagua said seriously. Lin Gu and Cho Yun were still a little shocked. How did Bu Fifan find out about the hunter school? If he didn't have a referral, he wouldn't even be able to find the place, let alone the hunter school. Maybe this was good news. Lin Gu smiled. That place isn't easy to find. Plus, he might not be able to get in without a referral. Brother, maybe he'll get tired after a while. When that happens, he'll naturally come back. We have nothing to worry about. Let's just treat it as a vacation. But I'm sure that he has a referral. Otherwise, he wouldn't have left so resolutely, Su Yun said. I believe that you've all heard of that American genius, Kevin Matthew. Maybe he's Bu Fifan's referral. Lin Gu and Cho Yun fell silent. That's right, they had forgotten that Bu Fifan had such a famous master on the internet. His master was a high-tech genius that many people dreamed of having. The founder of the Hunter School, the ancient Magpie World, would definitely be pursuing this genius. There was at least an 80% chance that they were related. Bu Fifan must have gotten the exact location from Kevin Matthew. If Kevin Matthew recommended someone, the ancient Magpie World would definitely give him face. Brother, I finally understand why you're so confident. Lin Gu let out a long sigh. If it's someone recommended by Kevin Matthew, the ancient Magpie World wouldn't dare let his 8 instructors train him to death. You should have said so earlier. You made me worry for nothing. If that's the case, then don't let them look for him. I'll just call them and ask them to come back. Su Yun shook his head. If they can find him, I still hope to find him. It won't be too late for him to leave after I bring him to meet someone in a few days. Whatever, let's see what God wants. If God wants him to leave, none of us can make him stay. About 2 hours later, everyone returned empty-handed. No one had found a trace of Bu Fifan. When Bu Fifan decided to leave, he knew that everyone would look for him, so he didn't go to the airport or the train station. Instead, he called a taxi and paid the driver a high price to send him out of Shenzhen. He didn't even take the highway. He drove along the national highway and left Shenzhen. When he arrived at a nearby city, he quickly bought the fastest high-speed train ticket to Beijing. When he arrived in Beijing, there were flights to everywhere. Kevin Matthew had told him that the Hunters Academy was built on a nameless island 50 nautical miles away from the Hawaiian Islands. It was a private island, the private property of the headmaster of the Hunters Academy. Anyone who could stand on that island was a well-known figure in the underground world. However, not everyone could enter the island. Under Bu Fifan's request, Kevin Matthew finally agreed to recommend him. After everything was arranged, he called Bu Fifan and asked him to come to Hawaii. He would wait for him there. Bu Fifan was excited, worried, and nervous when he bought the ticket. After boarding the plane, his feelings were even more complicated. When the plane took off, Bu Fifan doubted if he was doing the right thing. He wanted to become strong so badly. The world belonged to the strong at any time. Even though this was a civilized society with legal systems, everyone knew that there would always be shadows under the sun. Even though this was a legal society, there would always be a dark underground world. Although the underground world and civilized society would not have a huge conflict, the people of the underground world knew that only the human civilization could improve their society. But after all, they existed in the same space. One was in the light while the other was in the dark. There would always be some small friction between them. Although these small frictions were harmless, Bu Fifan still hoped that he could have a foothold in this world where small frictions occasionally occurred. He had decided to join the Hunter Academy for a simple reason. He only hoped to become strong enough to share Su Yun's burden, instead of relying on others to protect him. The opportunity was right in front of him. If he gave up now, he would be a coward running away from the battle. A man should act like a man. He would rather die standing than live on his knees. Bu Fifan had to act like a man. Otherwise, it would be meaningless for him to live in this world. He could never catch up to the people around him. Bu Fifan knew how strong Su Yun was, and he also knew how arrogant his master, Matthew, was. Everyone was so strong. Even the chef's apprentice, brother by Liang from the northeast, was able to kill a wild boar with a great swordsmanship. It greatly stimulated Bu Fifan. Chapter 708. Perhaps there were too many things going on in his mind. After an unknown period of time, Fei Fan woke up due to the turbulence in the air. The stewardess reminded everyone that they were about to arrive at their destination. She hoped that they could have a wonderful trip and memories in Hawaii. The moment Bu Fifan stepped out of the airport, he fell in love with this beautiful island city. It was so beautiful, and it was so simple. The sky was blue, and the clouds were white. This was enough to make Bu Fifan's heart flutter. In Huaxia, he couldn't even remember the last time he saw blue sky and white clouds. Damn, Bu Fifan sighed. No wonder rich people wanted to emigrate. Even government officials wanted to make a lot of money before they retired. It wasn't because foreign countries were more developed, nor was it because foreign food was safer, or there was no bleaching powder in the water, or the competition was fairer. It was because they could enjoy the most basic pleasure of breathing here. The air here was definitely a luxury that Huaxia people could not buy with money. Perhaps the privileged people in Huaxia could enjoy privileged food and water, but they could not enjoy this kind of privileged air. Because it was only the first year of middle school, Bu Fifen's English was definitely not good. He spent a lot of effort before he finally found the place where Kevin Matthew agreed to meet him. The locals were really nice. They were very friendly. At least, Bu Fifen felt a deep sense of goodwill. They greeted him in a friendly manner and patiently listened to his awkward English. All this made Bu Fifen less nervous and restrained. He believed that he would slowly become a member of this place. Of course, there were gangsters everywhere. It was inevitable. It was just like how no matter how beautiful the scenery was, there would always be trash. Hey, Asian buddy. White and black people seem to be more evolved than yellow people, at least in terms of body shape. A few tall and strong guys surrounded Bu Fifen and shouted in a teasing tone. Although Bu Fifen's English was not good, he could still understand these simple words. Although there were some problems with his grammar, he could still express the meaning clearly. Is there anything I can help you with? Wow, looks like you can understand English. A few of the local gangsters said, Are you Korean? No, Bu Fifen said. A white man said with certainty, Then you must be Japanese. You are the Japanese. Your whole family is Japanese. I am a Huaxia citizen. Bu Fifen glared at him and emphasized again, A Huaxia citizen. Do you understand? Several people nodded in realization, but the smiles on their faces were full of malice. Huaxia people don't matter. RMB is more valuable than Japanese yen and Korean won. He, fellow Huaxia people, let us see how much cash you have on you. How about it? As they spoke, they slowly forced Bu Fifen into a dead end. Bu Fifen turned around and wanted to run, but the tall iron gate behind him blocked his way. Just when he was in a predicament and didn't know how to save himself, a black shadow flashed by. The local gangsters who were about to rob Bu Fifen immediately screamed. Bu Fifen turned his head and saw a nimble and agile guy shuttling between a few dagger-wielding foreigners with ease. He easily took care of those gangsters. You guys really don't have a good memory. Did you forget what I told you? Don't have any ideas about Huaxia people. All Huaxia people know martial arts. Do you understand? The young man stood arrogantly in front of the gangsters and reprimanded them sternly. I will forgive you for robbing Japanese people here. You can't do anything else. Yes. The gangsters who were knocked to the ground nodded and begged for mercy. The young man thought for a moment and corrected them. Not all Japanese people can be robbed. Before you act, ask him who Turtle Island belongs to. If he says it belongs to Huaxia, then there is no problem. If he dares to say it belongs to Japan, then we must rob him. Not only rob, but also beat him up. Yes. Okay, scram. The young man waved his hand, and the gangsters fled in panic. The young man turned around, smiled, and asked in Chinese, Are you okay? I'm fine. Thank you so much for what you did just now. Bu Fifen was overjoyed to be able to meet his compatriots. Thank you so much. I don't know how to repay you. The young man smiled slightly. You don't need to repay me. You are Bu Fifen, right? Shuck. Bu Fifen looked up at the young man in front of him. How do you know my name? My name is Yi Yuan. Others like to call me Crocodile. The young man smiled. Mr. Matthew asked me to wait for you here. My name is Kevin Matthew. He said that you are very young, but I didn't expect you to be so young. Maybe he shouldn't use the word young to describe you. You are young. Bu Fifen looked at Yi Yuan. He relaxed a lot when he heard that it was Master Matthew's arrangement. He smiled embarrassedly. Although I am young, I am very mature. If you are not mature, you wouldn't dare to come here alone. Yi Yuan said, Okay, I won't talk nonsense with you. If you really want to go to the hunter school, then be mentally prepared. Since you were recommended by Matthew, our principal will definitely not reject you. But there is a problem. Once you enter, don't even think about coming out. Even if you can't bear it, you have to endure it. The hunter school is not like the boarding school you went to in Huaxia, where you can come and go as you wish. Do you understand? Bu Fifen's Adam's apple bobbed. He was a little scared by Yi Yuan's words. Understood. Yi Yuan seemed to see Bu Fifen's nervousness. He reached out and put his arm around his shoulder. Of course, you don't have to be afraid. After all, the school is a school, not hell. It's just that the things you learn are different. There's nothing to be afraid of. At least you can stay in the hunter school for a few days. You won't be bullied by those useless people outside. These words pierced Bu Fifen's heart. This was the effect he wanted. Bu Fifen's eyes lit up. Brother Crocodile, take me there now. I can't wait. Okay. Yi Yuan smiled. I'll give you a few more minutes. You can call Matthew and tell him that you are here. You can also tell the people in Huaxia that they don't need to worry because you will lose your phone soon. Of course, you will also lose all your luggage. But don't worry, I will keep it safe for you. When you are qualified enough to leave, I will return it all to you. But by then, your phone will be outdated. Also, there is another possibility. You won't be able to make it to that day. Don't worry, I will bury all your belongings with you. Bu Fifen listened carefully. Although Yi Yuan said it with a smile, he understood that it was a serious problem. Bu Fifen didn't call anyone. He just sent a group message to those who cared about him. It was a very simple message. Everything is fine. Don't worry. After sending the message, Bu Fifen quickly turned off his phone and handed all his belongings to Yi Yuan. Yi Yuan was very satisfied with Bu Fifen's cooperation. He took Bu Fifen's backpack and smiled. Although Matthew recommended you, you have no foundation at all. If you want to enter the island, you have to pass the test. Let's go. I will take you there. Brother Crocodile, when do I pay the tuition fees? Bu Fifen asked. My cards are all in the bag. Does the school accept cards? Brother, before you pass the test, you are not a student of the school. Yi Yuan said, Also, I have good news for you. Because you were recommended by Matthew, the principal will not charge you any tuition fees. And we don't have a POS machine. Swiping a card. I hope you are kidding. Bu Fifen was a little embarrassed. The tuition fees here were surprisingly high. He didn't expect Matthew's master to be so influential. The two talked as they walked. Yi Yuan brought Bu Fifen to a small bar in a more remote location. Bu Fifen was a little surprised. Who would come to drink in broad daylight? There were no customers in the bar at all. The bar owner was a middle-aged man in his 50s. Just by looking at his skin, one could tell that he was Asian. When he saw the two of them come in, the bar owner smiled at Yi Yuan. Crocodile, what are you doing here? Is there another kid who wants to die on the island? The principal is too rich. He is charging such a high tuition fee. And these kids will die after a few days of food. Can your mouth not be so cheap? Yi Yuan laughed. This is a recommendation from an acquaintance. He doesn't even have to pay a penny for the tuition. Don't scare our new student. He is still a kid. Bu Fifen was disturbed by the bar owner's words. He had goosebumps all over his body. Little Bu, don't listen to him. His mouth is asking for a beating. Yi Yuan turned around and said. He asked the bar owner for 2 bottles of beer. After opening them, he handed one to Bu Fifen. Bu Fifen took it and thanked him. Then he asked, Didn't you say it was a test? Is it, to test my alcohol tolerance? If your alcohol tolerance is high, you don't have to waste the beer. Just as Yi Yuan's voice fell, 2 guys wearing the same red short-sleeved shirt camouflage pants, and purple cloth tied around their arms walked in. Their waists were bulging, and they were definitely stuffed with weapons like pistols or daggers. The two of them cursed as they walked into the bar and entered the range of Yi Yuan and Bu Fifan. Yi Yuan smiled. He raised his head and drank all the beer in his hand. He whispered to Bu Fifan, "Let me show you. Do as I say and you will pass the test." After saying that, Yi Yuan suddenly smashed the beer bottle on the bar counter. He took a big step forward and stabbed the sharp beer bottle into the neck of one of them. That person didn't even have a chance to make a sound before he was killed. His accomplice reached for his waist in a panic. "Do it," Yi Yuan said coldly. But everything happened too suddenly. Bu Fifan was stunned. The test was to kill. This was inhumane. If he really did that, he would become a demon. No, he couldn't do it at all. But just as Bu Fifan was hesitating, the partner had already taken out his pistol. He could end Bu Fifan's life with a light pull of the trigger. Of course, Yi Yuan wouldn't give him the chance. He had already finished off the second person. The bar owner seemed to be used to seeing Yi Yuan kill people. He didn't seem surprised at all. Why? Bu Fifan trembled. Yi Yuan shrugged and said casually, "Not bad, you passed the first test. You won't kill people for no reason." Not bad, not bad. This kid is humane. I'm asking you, why are you killing people for no reason? Bu Fifan roared. Are you crazy? Are you inhumane? Yi Yuan put his index finger to his mouth and shushed him. Don't be so agitated. You will summon their partners. If you want to know the reason, I can explain it to you right now. Of course, let me make it clear that I am not a demon. That you're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.